There's Sean Rance in the 4531. He just got done racing, so he's been in that car already for about 3 hours. He's got 8 more laps to throw down in that Ford Bronco. We'll see how he can fare with the 4400 big boys. Remember, he's running a 37-inch DOT tire. Following him is the 530, Joe Hutchins getting the green flag. There is JP Gomez, number 82. He should be in that top 10 position. There's Ryan Miller driving Bailey Campbell's car. There's the 97 of Jeremy Hammer, taking off in that 35th position. And I haven't physically seen Marcos today, but he is supposed to take off next. We'll see if he made it in time. We know with all the forest fires out in Northern California, nope, Marcos did not make it. That's the number 710 of Tommy Dykstra. So it looks like Marcos is busy working. Tough break, but thank you for trying to save everything you can out there. There's the 4412 of Eric Foster. Just a couple more cars and we'll have every car out on course. I believe that could be Cody Addington. There is Brian Caprera, the 9901. There is Hunter Sparrow heading out. He took off in roughly 39th position with his wife, Kimberly. They just got done racing. Looks like we have one more car to go, and that should be Jeff McKinley. And it is Ironman Racing. You saw him take a tumble almost at the checkers on qualifier. He raced with us in Crandon. So we should have right around 40 cars out on course today. There is action absolutely everywhere out on course. Sounds like it still is Paul Horschel out in the physical lead. There is number 4, Chip McLaughlin, heading up Green Day, part of Rufus Racing. That is Alex Wacker's old car, I believe, a Tribe 16 built machine. 4454, Bailey Cole coming down Lockjaw, less than a minute behind Paul Horschel. I believe that's Paul Horschel on screen. So that should send him towards the S&M loop. Paul Horschel debuted this car at Crandon. Had a great showing. He came in second place in the night and the day race. Paul Horschel just got done building that beautifully built machine. It's a single-seat IFS machine, extremely light, 850 Danzio horsepower under the hood of that Ford Bronco. What a race we have on our hands. Pam, every car is on course. What are your thoughts right now? What's it shaping up to look like?
My thoughts right now are, what are these guys going to do if there's a bottleneck, if they can't get around? Are they going to try to roll over the tires of the sides, or what will they do? Because there's definitely going to be some of that happening probably pretty quickly into this race.
Yeah, I could see Green Day giving us a little issues. We'll see. And don't remember, we have the Joker line that's going to be coming in effect at Britney Spears. Are they going to take it early? Are they going to take it late? But on screen, that is Paul Horschel, Nitto Tire athlete. Running a great race, but getting chased down by Bailey Cole, then Lauren Healey, Shannon Campbell, Vaughn Gittin Jr., Raul Gomez, Waylon Campbell, Cody Addington, J.P. Gomez, and Brian Caprera rounding out the top 10. So that's still Paul Horschel on screen. So still from our aerial drone, that is Mr. Paul Horschel, our physical leader out front. This is the 2020 Lasernut Beatdown at Area BFE in beautiful Moab, Utah. This is the 4400 Unlimited class. There is Paul Horschel, still on screen out front.
4413 is part of that Sparrow crew, and they just grabbed the start to get qualified for KOH, and they've already pulled off.
Oh, so they're already off.
Yes.
They didn't register, so they didn't qualify for shit.
I don't know. I'm just telling you that.
So on screen right now, chasing down Paul Horschel is Bailey Cole with that brand new CBM Motorsports horsepower showing out. 4454 Bailey Cole and that 2C IFS Trent Fab machine. Everything's looking smooth, but we already have Paul Horschel going out for lap number 2. So Paul Horschel with a lap time of a 16:32, almost 3 minutes faster of our fastest time today. Paul Horschel really on the gas, trying to wrap it away from Bailey Cole, Lauren Healey, and Shannon Campbell. There's a Campbell car, I believe.
This race is going to be decided when they get track.
I think there's going to be a lot of lap traffic coming into play with this because Paul Horschel is going to be catching them in the next 5 or 10 minutes. So there's number 81, Levi Shirley, in that single C IFS Campbell machine. Right behind one of the cars. I believe that's John Hall, number 71, out of Northern California. There's three-time king, number 5, Shannon Campbell, monster Nitto athlete. Great shot of Levi Shirley once again, number 81. The dust is still lingering, but the wind has picked up once again. So we do have Bailey Cole just heading out for lap number 2, and right behind him is Lauren Healey. So it looks like on adjusted time, it still should be Bailey Cole in second position. So Bailey Cole out on lap 2, followed closely by Lauren Healey. And Vaughn Gittin Jr. is right behind Lauren Healey. So Vaughn got around Shannon Campbell at some point. So physical, it is still Paul Horschel, then Bailey Cole, then Lauren Healey, then Vaughn Gittin Jr., then Shannon Campbell. They're heading down the Yukon and MBRP ledges here in the infield. And you can see traffic is becoming an issue out there from our live drone. They will be racing 8 entire laps here at the 2020 Lasernut Beatdown at Area BFE here in beautiful Moab, Utah. There's a car that's on his side. That could be Chris Wicks, possibly. Flopped her on the side, but backed out of it.
We have 6 cars right here.
So we have a bottleneck starting. So we have 5 to 6 cars backed up. I believe that's in Green Day, so that's right where we were saying it's going to get tricky. Remember, there is a bypass at the top. There's Brendan Thompson. There's another bomber. There's the 92.
Right now, they're basically just playing follow the leader to get up through those areas before they can get into those passing zones.
I believe that was Bailey Cole heading up the top of Upper Hellerado. So Bailey Cole still holding his own in second position, but not too far behind him, two-time king Lauren Healey. And then Vaughn Gittin Jr. got around Shannon Campbell, so that puts Vaughn in 4th, then Shannon in 5th. Now I see Ryan Miller and Cody Addington. So it sounds like on corrected time, Ryan Miller is really laying it down. He could be in that second position because he started a little bit back in the pack. So he started in 11th position driving for Bailey, but Ryan Miller's driving a great race. That looks like that could be Dan Wyrick. There's a Goodall car. That's at the top of Green Day. That's that spot that was getting dug out, so he needs to come a little bit further left. You can see just how dug out it is because that's a 40-inch tire now that's having issues. That's number 10. That is Dave Oliver. That's his first race in that car. Recently purchased it from Kenneth Goodall. There's a great shot of Dan Wyrick, number 218, in that UFO single seat IFS Joe Thompson built machine. There's number 10. Still, that's Dave Oliver. But still out front, it's still Paul Horschel. Then physically, Paul Horschel, Bailey Cole, Lauren Healey, Vaughn Gittin, Shannon Campbell. Believe that's the 9901 of Brian Caprera. There's number 9, Brian Crofts. That is Bailey Campbell's fiance. I believe that's Hunter Miller in the number 72. They just got done racing with Kimberly. They switched seats, switched cars, and they're racing again. So Brian Caprera having a little bit of issues, but making it up and around the top of Green Day. What a great shot from the Hammer King production crew with that aerial drone. Just shows you how big this place is here at Area BFE. The dust is flying, the wind is blowing, but traffic is going to be the issue today. They will be racing 8 full laps, 5 miles apiece, so roughly 40 miles. There's Kevin Stearns, followed closely by Dan Wyrick, heading out on their second lap. There's one car pulled over. It looks like that is Brian Caprera. There is action all over the course.
Okay, so our top 10 right now, we have Paul Horschel, we have Ryan Miller in Bailey's car, Vaughn Gittin, we got Bailey Cole, Lauren Healey, Shannon Campbell, Waylon Campbell, Raul Gomez, JP Gomez, Cody Addington, and then in the 11th spot, we have Dan Wyrick. They're all super close right now on course. You can see a lot of them are trailing with each other, but this is anyone's race right now.
Absolutely, yeah. Remember, this is on adjusted time. They took off in 20-second increments, so they are racing their own time, and it's going to keep swapping up. But Paul Horschel's still out front with that clean air. Well, it used to be clean air. I'm sure he's in lap traffic already because Paul Horschel was really, really running hard. There's a two-time king, Randy Slauson in his bomber. 44-48 in that King Shock wrap bomber. There's a great shot. It looked like that was Bailey Cole. That's So Bailey Cole is not too far off of Paul Horschel because there's somebody that broke down in the middle of Green Day. It took Paul a little bit to get around. So that could put Bailey Cole hot on his heels. And remember, the corrected time is at the start-finish line. But when you can physically see him, is that within 20 seconds? This is going to be anybody's race. It will be an absolute race to the finish. On screen is our physical race leader, Paul Horschel, and that brand new single seat IFS Paul Horschel built machine. And that just gives another respect level because everybody loves Shannon Campbell. He builds and races his car. Well, now Paul Horschel really coming into his own. He's built 3 race cars now. Lauren Healey's racing one of them. He has a bigger desert car for King of the Hammers. And this brand new, call it a short course, but he's racing it here. The number 19, Paul Horschel. Nitto-sponsored machine. This is the 2020 Lasernut Beatdown at Area BFE here in Moab, Utah. This is the 4400 Nitto Unlimited class. Paul's bashing through with 850 horsepower off that Danzio motor. You can see the dust starting to settle. That looks like it's Levi Shirley. Remember, he took a fairly rear start. I believe he took off in roughly 28th position. There's Bailey Cole on screen, the 4454. 2-seat Trent Fab IFS machine with one of his best friends, Tom, riding in the shotgun. Bailey Cole running a smooth race, not too far behind Paul Horschel, making it quick work at the top of Green Day. There's a flip back to our current leader, Paul Horschel. So this is absolutely anybody's race. Bailey Cole's really trying to hunt down Paul Horschel. There's another Bronco. That's Vaughn Gittin Jr. showing off his Ford horsepower. Monster Nitto athlete. You probably recognize his name from Formula Drift. He drifts that Mustang, absolutely slinging it all over the pavement. But now he's out here racing in the Ultra 4 race. So it looks like we could have, I don't know if I missed Lauren Healey or if Vaughn Gittin Jr. got around him. That's the top of Green Day. Vaughn Gittin, number 25, Vaughn Gittin Jr.
Right there in that shot, you could see the abuse these cars can take. It's amazing how the abuse they can take.
There's number 5, Shannon Campbell, 3-time King Off-Road Hall of Famer. There's Andrew McLaughlin, 2-seat IFS machine. There is Lauren Healey. So he dropped back, so it does look like Vaughn Gittin got around Lauren. And Shannon Campbell. So Ryan Miller's hot on Healey's heels. What's going on? Having a little issues, but still moving strong. That is another, remember he's running a single seat, Paul Horschel built IFS machine. Ryan Miller in that 2-seat machine is right on Lauren Healey's heels.
Ryan's definitely on a mission to get that car up there on that podium.
Trying to make Bailey Campbell proud. They just recently added 30 horsepower to that machine, and Bailey was a little jealous.
Yesterday, talking to Bailey, she was telling me that the only person she trusts to drive that car is Ryan.
Looks like a bomber chassis. Can't quite tell who that is. Is it Wicks? Lap traffic is going to start setting in. The Joker line will play its factor. These guys, remember, are out on lap 2 of 8. There's Cody Addington, 888 with ADD Racing, another Nitto athlete, racing Lauren Healey's old car, the Orange Dragon. Cody Addington, you'll remember him multiple years back running that black stock Toyota. And then he took it out with the 44, and then Lauren Healey made him a deal he couldn't pass up and bought that car, and he's loving it. There's probably over 35,000 horsepower out on course as we speak. There is action absolutely everywhere. I believe that is the Joker line. There's Brendan Thompson, 5150, I believe. Joe Thompson's brother. You'll see him on Paul Jr. Designs, building motorcycles. There is Cody Addington, still running strong.
Chip McLaughlin stopped on mine and Trent got it.
Sounds like Chip McLaughlin is pulled over. Hopefully he can get it back going. Lots of chatter on the PCI race radios. Thank you again to Nitto, Can-Am, Ford, Monster, Optima, 4-Wheel Parts, Progressive, and Lasernut.
Looks like you have a car stopped just above you, too, Lockjaw.
And look at the dust really starting to show. Lap traffic is absolutely going to be the main factor in this race. So that's going to play its fact on Paul Horschel and the Bailey camp. Bailey Cole, Lauren Healey, Vaughn Gittin, and Shannon Campbell. We got a lot of fast guys out front.
Second place is Bailey. I will have a split.
Physical second place still is Bailey Cole. We'll get a split here shortly. On screen is number 9, Brian Crofts. Pam, what a race we have on our hands.
Definitely, and out here looking at it live, outside of the screen, you can see the dust is not moving like we thought it would do with the wind today. But Paul, let's see how Paul comes through. He should be coming through any moment if he's keeping his lap times like he did on his first lap.
What a great shot from these aerial drones. Again, a huge shout out to Hammer King Productions for bringing this. And thank you, Dixie Off-Road, for letting us use your internet. Using a bunch of microwave dishes, shooting it out here, and then shooting it all across the park. There's number 24, Zandy Willems, in Nightmare in his Tribe 16.
He's got 40 seconds on one get.
So that is Zandy Willems heading out of our screen. We got 2 cars coming in. So on screen, looks like that's Brendan Thompson, 5150, followed closely by a bomber car. That's the number 999. That's Kevin Williams with his wife, Brittany. So there is Paul Horschel. I believe that is the Joker line, if I'm not mistaken. Nope, not the Joker line, sorry. So that is Brittany Spears, but I do not believe anybody has taken the Joker line yet today in this class. But we may have a little race strategy. If there's time, why wouldn't Bailey Cole run it? Paul Horschel still looking good, looking smooth, physically out front. Nitto sponsored machine. Paul Horschel running a great race. So Paul Horschel still running a very strong race out there. So is that Bailey Cole? Yes, it is. So it looks like he's already cleared Brittany Spears. I'm not sure if he took the Joker line or not. Bailey Cole, what a great shot of that 2-seat Trent Fab IFS machine with Bailey Cole and his best friend Tom running strong. Sitting physically in that second position, starting to make a little bit of time up on Paul Horschel. So it just takes one little bobble from Paul, and Bailey Cole could get in that lead on adjusted time. They did take off in 20-second increments. They will do 8 full laps, 5 miles apiece, so roughly 40 miles of racing out here at Area BFE. This is the 2020 Lasernut Beatdown at Area BFE in beautiful Moab, Utah, and that is on screen coming down the Yukon and MBRP ledges. Paul Horschel, our physical leader. So we'll get a split time here shortly between him and the top 5 or 10. But Paul Horschel's one little bump away. Looks like he's taking a little careful, trying to save the car. Paul Horschel heading out on his 3rd lap out of 8. That was an 18:52, and Bailey Cole is on the short course. So there is Looks like that's Shannon Campbell on screen as we talk, but I physically have eyes on Bailey Cole in the short course. There's Vaughn Gittin Jr. There's Bailey Cole as we speak. So we'll get a split time of him. It looks like Paul Horschel probably still has it just by a few seconds, but Bailey Cole's starting to pull back. Bailey Cole's pulling an excellent run by Bailey Cole, 44.54, 2C IFS, Nitto-sponsored athlete. Bailey Cole heading out for lap number 3. So I'll try to get a split time here shortly. Sounds like it's only 25 seconds behind Paul Horschel, so Bailey is running an extremely great race. There is Levi Shirley out of Dodge City, Kansas, fairly local to myself. He's the one that took me out in his UTV for the sighting yesterday. Thank you again, Levi. We've had a couple good chats with him this week. There is Gomez, brother. I believe that's Raul. I can see the King Wrap from here. Raul Gomez should be coming in here shortly. He's definitely running top 10 material. So here is Shannon Campbell, I believe, followed closely by Vaughn Gittin. Lauren Healey did drop back a little bit, so I think physically on course, 1 Paul Horschel, 2 Bailey Cole, then it goes Shannon Campbell, then Vaughn Gittin Jr. So Shannon Campbell heading out for his 3rd lap. Out of 8, there's another Bronco crossing, Vaughn Gittin Jr., number 25. Monster Nitto athlete. Vaughn has an extremely great race, part of Team Funhaver. And speaking about team, Lauren Healey, his teammates right behind him. So dropped back just a couple spots, but still in the top 5. 2-time king, Lauren Healey in that Ford Bronco, Ford horsepower Nitto monster machine.
Right behind him is Ryan Miller. He's on his tail.
But Ryan Miller on time is probably going to be first on time. Ryan Miller driving for Bailey Campbell is driving the race of his life right now. A minute in the lead ahead of Paul Horschel. So that's where it comes into strategy. So Paul may or may not know. So he's out front trying to pace himself, but Ryan Miller is not. He's trying to run down everybody. He took off in that 11th position, and he's over a minute a lead in adjusted time. There is Cody Addington, ADD Racing, number 88, in that single-seat Jimmy's IFS machine. Another Nitto athlete, Cody Addington on screen. There is action absolutely everywhere you look. Believe this could be John Hall. Yes, that is John Hall, number 71, running the Shreddy Lego on the side. Looks like he's got a flat front left tire. John Hall built that entire machine in his garage with welders and grinders. So great shout out to him for making it happen. But hopefully he'll get pulled over and get it changed quick like. Looks like that's Lauren Healey heading up Upper Hellerado. That is Shannon Campbell, sorry. There's Vaughn Gittin Jr. Pam, what a race we have on our hands.
Definitely, these guys are all on a mission, and it's interesting to see how quickly they're doing. Ryan Miller's out there. He is bombing this course. He is definitely wanting to perform for Bailey and make sure they're on that box today. Look at that dust. Look at the silt on that hill right there.
Yeah, hopefully the wind keeps picking up. It's kind of off and on. So it looks like coming down the Yukon and MBRP ledges is Cody Addington. So, yep, that is Cody on screen. One more little pop. He'll be heading out on his 3rd lap out of 8. So Cody's running a very strong race. He started in that 8th position. Made up a couple spots. That is 97, I believe. Jeremy Hammer. So that's number 9, Brian Cross. Bailey Campbell's fiance, running a great race. I had a pretty good chat with his dad, Art, and they're excited to be back. Brian had to miss the last race because he broke a couple ribs, and he says he's still sore, but he's just glad to be back in the cockpit. So we're not quite halfway through this race. Paul Horschel physically out front, but Ryan Miller on adjusted time looks like he's in that first place position. But that could all change because that is only at the start-finish line. And there is a 5-mile nasty loop out there that can take anybody for a wild ride. We've definitely seen multiple tires today. I think that's going to set in. I think the lap traffic. There is Kevin Stearns and his BDS Tilden Motorsports powered machine. That is a 2C IFS. Joe Trout, Fishmouth Fab built machine, built for Lance Clifford, Chupacabra.
You can see off to the side here on the screen a couple cars coming through here, pretty close on each other. I can't
believe
tell
that's
exactly
Green
where.
Day.
Is it Green Day? Okay.
And that's Brendan Thompson up front. It could be Ryan Miller driving for Bailey Campbell in the back. Sorry, no, that is. That was Jeff McKinley, I believe, and then it's a bomber chassis. Looks like that's Paul Horschel coming up the back, starting to really battle that lap traffic. So that's only going to help Bailey Cole, Ryan Miller, Shannon Campbell, Vaughn Gittin Jr. Looks like Horschel just got around somebody, so got around a couple cars, it looks like, taking it a little alternate line. So great job by Paul Horschel. Those Nitto tires really hooked up there in Green Day. I absolutely love that car. I picked it apart in Crandon. It is an absolute work of art. That guy's an absolute genius when it comes to building a car. Very quiet, very reserved. You put a helmet on, turns into a monster in the driver's seat. So Paul Horschel still physically out front, but it is still anybody's race. All this lap traffic is absolutely going to play a toll. How far back's Bailey Cole? Then it should be Shannon Campbell, Vaughn Gittin Jr., then Lauren Healey. Raul Gomez is still in the mix. We saw Cody Addington and Waylon. But that's Paul Horschel, our physical leader, number 19. Paul is running a great race right here. Clearing Green Day as we speak.
I really think it's going to come down to tires, who has flats, and who gets stuck in traffic with this race today.
Speaking of traffic, this is the top of Green Day. This is the main line, and you did see somebody get hung up for a minute. We'll see what kind of work Paul Horschel can make. He'll take a hard left, I believe. Use that 850 horsepower. This is right where you could smoke a tire, pop an axle, but Paul Horschel made it happen.
I think it's the 999 of Kevin Williams that he's coming up on right now.
There's a great shot of Bailey Cole, physically second position, not too far back of Paul Horschel. So he must have made a couple passes in Green Day as well. But a great, great shot of Bailey Cole. So Bailey Cole running that 2-seat Trent Fab built machine with Tom riding shotgun. You can see those King shocks really soaking up these big bumps. All four Nitto tires really hooking up. The Yukon axles making it happen. Here's that spot, and he made it look easy compared to Horschel. So I think Bailey's starting to gain. It was only a 25-second split on him and Horschel at the start-finish. It looks like it's getting a little tighter. There's Levi Shirley, number 81, in another single-seat IFS Campbell Enterprise machine.
Now we have Shannon Campbell on here. See what he's doing. He's doing good on time, everything right now, but he hasn't came up to any lap traffic yet that I have seen.
The leaders are out on their fourth lap out of 8, so we are not quite halfway through this lap. There's a great shot of 3-time King Off-Road Hall of Famer, Shannon Campbell. Another Nitto monster athlete. Running in the top 5 for sure. I think he's physically in 3rd position. There's Vaughn Gittin Jr., number 25 in his Ford Bronco, Ford horsepower machine, trying to chase down Shannon Campbell. He got around his teammate, Funhaver, Lauren Healey, a little bit ago. There's Kevin Porterfield in a wide-open design Adam Woodley built machine. There's Bailey Campbell's car, driven by Ryan Miller. The number 35 AZ, 2C IFS, bombing through Green Day, and Ryan Miller at the split was 1 minute ahead in adjusted time in first place. So Ryan is having the time of his life. Oh, I'm sure he is all smiles. And we had a chat with Bailey Campbell earlier. How nervous or excited are you to have Ryan out there? She said, looking the smile on Ryan, I don't care what happens. He's having fun, and he'll take care of my car. He works on it a ton back home. That's still Ryan Miller on adjusted time. Could be still in first position. Trying to chase down Bailey Cole. Paul Horschel.
Back right flat tire.
Could be a right rear flat tire for Miller. And he does have a co-driver, so it looks like he's going to pull over. Not yet. Looks like he's only about halfway through this race, but there's a fair amount of down, so I'm sure he will not take the joker line. Do you think that Nitto tire can hold up to a half a lap out here? Time's about to tell, because it's a lot faster to turn it, change a tire in the hot pits, but he could be losing some valuable time. On adjusted time, he was our leader, but that's definitely going to slow him down. So can Paul Horschel and Bailey Cole take advantage of this? We were talking about tires going to be an issue, lap traffic. Pam, that's what it's shaking out to be, don't you think?
Yes, that's number 1 right now. Should we take a side bet on how many is going to happen?
I don't have that kind of money. There's JP Gomez, part of the Gomez Brothers Racing. Him and his brother Raul are racing out today. Marcos was not able to make it. They're helping with the forest fires over in Northern California. There is Kevin Porterfield heading out for another lap. So Kevin Porterfield's running a pretty good race. I believe he's on the lead lap. We have action all over this race course. Physically out front is still Paul Horschel, followed closely by Bailey Cole. Then it switches up a little bit to Shannon Campbell, then Vaughn Gittin, then Lauren, then Raul and Cody Addington, and Waylon still in the mix. There is action everywhere. Look at the dust lingering. We are almost at the halfway point of this race. This is the 2020 Lasernut Beatdown at Area BFE here in beautiful Moab, Utah. That's Sean Rance, I believe. He just got done racing the 4500 Yukon Gear and Axle Modified class. So that car's been running for 4 hours straight right now. It sounds like leader Paul Horschel just cleared Lockjaw. So he's probably, I'm going to say 10-ish minutes out from heading out. Halfway through this, out on lap 5. There's John Hall, still clicking along. John Hall running a smooth run.
Go ahead, Curtis.
He's an old school rock crawler. Talking about old school, there's Sean Rance in that Ford Bronco.
Back in the race, copy.
Sounds like Chip McLaughlin got back going. Not sure what his issue was, but getting a lot of chatter through the PCI race radio. Again, we have to throw out a lot of love for Nitto, Can-Am, Ford, Monster, Optima, 4-Wheel Parts, Progressive, and Lasernut. Thank you for those guys for helping us keep racing.
42 second time gap between 44.54 and first place.
Sounds like a 42-second gap between Horschel and Bailey Cole. There's going to be a pass from Brian Crofts around Sean Rance. Sean Rance knows he's on a different pace than these faster guys, so he backs out of the way. Class act out of Sean Rance and his Bronco.
unless it's blocked, take it.
So strategy is going to start taking its toll because not too many people have taken the Joker line at Britney Spears. Who's going to take it first? Paul Horschel still has not. And as long as it's clear, I would take it early just in case it turns into a bottleneck later on in the race. Great shot of Brian Crofts heading up. That's the top of Green Day, if I'm not mistaken. Yes, it is. There's the loose stuff just before that ledge. It is absolutely getting ate out. What a great race. We've been racing since 8 a.m. this morning, so we've been going strong for over 8 hours. For the 2020 Lasernut Beatdown at Area BFE in Moab, Utah. We've already given away some of the beautiful Lasernut trophies, but we got a couple more classes to give away after this race. There's our race leader. He is through Britney Spears. That's in the little rock sand wash. Paul Horschel still physically out front. Paul Horschel coming in. We should have him in the infield in just a few minutes. Looks like that Nitto-powered machine still looking good. So we should get a good time slip between Horschel and Call here shortly. So Paul Horschel's getting close to Jeff Mckinley in the short course. So Paul Horschel's going to have to battle with him here after just a little bit.
Did you copy Dave?
I believe that is Paul Horschel, our physical race leader. He'll be into the infield at the halfway mark of the 4400 Nitto Unlimited class. The top 10 are stacked with Nittos. It's looking good for Team Nitto out there, but everything's going good. Paul Horschel physically out front, but Bailey Cole not too far off pace. There's some lap traffic going on. So I think Bailey Cole was the first one to do the Joker line, but Shannon Campbell and Vaughn Gittin did get around him, but that comes into strategy. So Paul Horschel just dropped down the Yukon and MBRP ledges. He is exactly at the halfway mark as we speak. Paul Horschel out on his 5th lap, out of 8. Look at the racing going on with Shannon Campbell and Vaughn Gittin just getting around. That was Andrew McLaughlin getting around him. He was lap traffic. So physically it's now turned to Paul Horschel, then Vaughn Gittin and Shannon Campbell really battling it out. But remember, Bailey Cole's the only one to run the Joker line. Horschel still has to. All the Campbells, Vaughn Gittin. So that's going to play into strategy. And look at Vaughn that is Paul Horschel all over that 850 horsepower machine, trying to leap out in front of Shannon Campbell and Vaughn Gittin and Bailey Cole. What a great race we have right now. So we should have Shannon Campbell and Vaughn Gittin coming into the short course any time. I see lots of flat tires everywhere. I believe that's the number 97 of Jeremy Hammer. And there's another Campbell car. I believe that's got to be Wayland. I believe you're right, Pam. No, that is Ryan Miller driving Bailey Campbell's car. Still limping in. Looks like he could have 2 right flats.
It does. It looks like he has 2 right flats on there. It's He's just got to get in because you can't stop and just change one now because that'll really kill your time.
So what a tough heartbreaker for Ryan Miller. He was on adjusted time, but here's Shannon Campbell with Vaughn Gittin Jr. hot on his heels. There's the 999 of Kevin Williams with Brittany. So hopefully he'll pass, but look at Vaughn Gittin all over Shannon Campbell. And then it looks like Bailey Cole is right on Vaughn's bumper too. So this is going to be a race to the finish. The top four, Paul's starting to pull away a little bit, but then the next three, Shannon, Vaughn, and Bailey Cole are all within seconds. So we have four cars out on their 5th lap out of 8. Remember, it is on adjusted time, 20-second increments. There's Raul Gomez coming into screen. He's heading out on his 5th lap. Right behind him, oh, it's a Gomez brother. So Raul's just in front of JP, and they're going to be having fun. These guys are going to be absolutely all over each other. And now they're right behind Ryan Miller that has 2 right flats. So can they get around him? Can Miller make it to the hot pits? What a heartbreaker for Miller because he was running an extremely good race.
What was the fire?
He's definitely limping it in right now for sure. But he's got 2 cars.
So Miller is heading into the hot pits as we speak. They're going to have to change 2 rights, and those Nitto tires are absolutely flinging everything. There's Brian Caprera coming into screen. Right behind him is Mike Bad Daddy Boo. They're heading up Green Day as we speak. So there's action everywhere. The hot pits is starting to get busy. The dust is getting thick. Getting a little harder to tell who's who. But still out front's Paul Horschel. And then super tight is Shannon Campbell, then Vaughn Gittin, and then Bailey Cole. But remember, Bailey Cole's the only one that has ran the Joker line. So right now, Bailey Cole has the advantage over Shannon Campbell and Vaughn Gittin Jr. Can he get some time on Paul Horschel? It's going to be a race to the finish. What an awesome race we have on our hands, Pam.
Definitely a lot of action going on down here in the short course with Ryan Miller coming in with both right flats on his car. Dan Wyrick's on screen right now, so let's see how he's doing. And here we have, who's that?
Looked like that was Brian Caprera with Rock Rage Racing. So here comes Lauren Healey. So looks like he's got a right front flat. So he's off the pace by about 5 minutes. So tough break for 2-time king Lauren Healey in his Ford Bronco. Man, I just can't get enough of this. There's action absolutely everywhere. The hot pits are hot. We started with roughly 40 cars taking the green flag.
What did we say? We said the tires were going to be a factor, and here we're seeing the people with the fastest lap times are having some issues.
Absolutely, yeah. Ryan Miller was on adjusted time out front, had a right rear flat, then had a right front flat. There is Vaughn Gittin Jr., I believe. Yes, I can see that beautiful Bronco logo on the top of Brocky. I believe he is physically in 3rd position behind Shannon, and then right behind him should be Bailey Cole. There's a Campbell car. It looks like that's Bailey Cole at the top of our TV trying to chase down Vaughn and Shannon Campbell. And like I said, we're just now at the halfway mark. We took the line with right around 35,000 horsepower. Just tons of tires, tons of suspension. This is Ultra 4 racing. Could that be Dan Wyrick, I believe? No, that is a Campbell car, so that must be Wayland. Nope, that's Brian Crofts. Sorry, the dust is thick. There's lots of cars. My mind's starting to turn into scramble. So there's Paul Horschel, our physical leader, heading up towards the top of Green Day. What a race. We have Paul Horschel out front, then closely followed by Vaughn Gittin, Shannon Campbell, and Bailey Cole. But remember, on this strategy, Bailey Cole is the only one up front that has taken the Joker line in Britney Spears. And you only have to take it once, but you have to take it once. So strategy is in Bailey Cole's favor as we speak. And is it an advantage or disadvantage for Paul Horschel in that single seat car? Because if he does have a flat, he has to hop out himself and change it. But good thing he's on those Nitto tires. And I believe all top 10 are on the Nitto, so Team Nitto having a great showing thus far. But remember, we're only halfway through this thing. We saw Ryan Miller with 2 flats. We've seen flats all over this race course. Those rocks are everywhere. Like I said, when I took a ride with Levi Shirley, we were talking, he's like, man, this rock wasn't here, that rock wasn't here, and the course is really getting dug out. So this is the top of Green Day, and you can see those 40-inch Nittos just getting absolutely swallowed in that rock section. It is completely getting dug out. Well, Pam, Paul Horschel takes the whole shot and has led this race so far. So far it's been to his advantage, so qualifying has proven to be huge in today's race.
Definitely. I mean, look at the earlier races, the people that were on the pole, what did they do? They ended up winning the race. So who knows what's going to happen here? He's out front still, but like we keep saying, it's anyone's race. It's a long race. It's a long 40 miles.
It's the longest 40 miles we have raced in quite a while. This is some of the best terrain we've raced. I would absolutely consider this similar to King of the Hammers. Our next race is going to be the 4-Wheel Parts Nitto National Championship in Davis, Oklahoma at the Crossbar Ranch.
Oh, we got a battle.
There's...
Got Shannon and Bailey
So
battling.
there's... I see a Campbell car.
Real close.
So it looks like that could have been Bailey Cole. Did he get around Shannon Campbell? It looks like it did. Bailey Cole moved around Shannon Campbell. Now, where's Vaughn? Did I miss him? So is that going to put Bailey Cole physically in second position or third? I may have missed Vaughn Gittin, or he pulled over. I'm not sure. But there is lap traffic. So look at Shannon Campbell taking a little dive at Bailey, and he shut the door. We got a race on our hands. I know I'm all smiles. I hope you guys are back at home. Thank you again for tuning in. Ultra4racing.com/live. Share it with your friends. Get on the Facebook. Hit that share button. I wish I could have seen the pass that Bailey put on Shannon. And Shannon's shaking his head and saying, oh, yeah, I'm going to get you back. Shannon doesn't give anything to anyone. Remember just a few years back at the finish when Waylon went for the pass and Shannon shut the door? That's his own kid. So John Hall pulls over. Huge shout out to him. Thank you. That's another class act. Sorry, that is Waylon Campbell. That is not Shannon. So Shannon and Vaughn probably still are out front. So that is 100% my fault. That is Waylon Campbell behind Bailey Cole. There's Sean Rance in that Ford Bronco machine. He's running the 37-inch DOT tires, so that's a pretty good disadvantage, but he's still out there racing, having a great time. And I do believe Wayland is a lap down, so Bailey doesn't have to worry about him too much. So it looks like Ryan Miller got 2 tires changed and back out on course. There's Levi Shirley heading out for his 5th lap. He's halfway through his day. Another single-seat IFS Campbell Enterprise machine. And I heard a little rumor that he may be getting a new car built a two-seater. That could be Hunter Sparrow with his wife Kimberly riding along. That is Upper Helrado. That's that really loose, rocky section. So there's Kevin Stearns, I believe. There's Randy Slauson, a former two-time king, with those king shocks still running smooth. In his bomber chassis, he has built a lot of those cars, and they are proven to be fast. Usually he only runs King of the Hammers, but he was tired of the wildfires back home, so the car was ready. He decided to come out and have a little fun with us. Here at the 2020 Lasernut Beatdown at Area BFE here in beautiful Moab, Utah. There's a Rufus. Is that Zandy or Chip?
It's got to be Chip. Sandy's out.
Yep, Chip happens. Another flat tire. He's running a Tribe 16 built, two-seat IFS machine.
Got leader on lockjaw.
Not that I can see yet.
Looks like that's Kevin Stearns chasing down a car in that BDS machine. That could be Levi Shirley.
Now leader is yes in lockjaw.
Good eye, Pam. Looks like somebody just took a pass. Was that Kevin Stearns? There is action absolutely all over this race course. Somebody just cleared Brittany Spears. That could be Chris Paiva, I believe, the number 906 with North Shore Racing. That's actually Dave Cole's old car, if I'm not mistaken.
Big crash down there.
He raced with us in Crandon just 2 weeks ago. Got it home, get it a quick shakedown. At least he didn't have to rebuild the whole car.
Good thing we have so many cameras all over the course because there's so much action going on that we want to see what's going on everywhere.
So again, a huge shout out to the Hammer King production crew for bringing us this live camera. Looks like there's a rollover in Green Day, and there's not much other line there. Who is that? I can't quite tell. All I can see is the belly. Looks like that's Hunter Sparrow trying to get around. They're out of the car, it looks like.
Green Day, we might have a fire.
So it looks like Hunter Sparrow was able to get around the rollover. So there is room to get around them, but
We got fire right here. Yeah.
what an amazing race we've had all day long. But now it is the 4400 Nitto Unlimited, guys. We started with roughly 40 cars on course, and we are having one hell of a race. I hope you guys are having as much fun as we are. There's Mike Bad Daddy Boo in the 54. Used to be driven by Jason Shear and Tom Ways. Single seat Tribe 16 built machine.
Was there a turtle? That's what you're talking about, the one that's back up on his back?
There's the 906 North Shore Racing of Chris Paiva.
Upside down, like over on its back, towards the bottom of Green Day.
Believe that's Hunter Sparrow heading towards the top of Green Day.
It's probably, they can probably winch themselves out because the nose is up over
Right
backwards.
there, right underneath you. Right underneath you right now.
Second place, 2454, physically through green, lockjaw.
Sounds like 4454 through Lockjaw.
He is right behind him, but nobody in front of him or behind him that's not 5 or 25.
5 or 25 are both.
So maybe we're missing 5 and 25. So Shannon Campbell and Von Gittin are missing. So that could put Bailey Cole back in that second position. Okay, so that's Zandy Willems possibly. Yes, number 24 in Nightmare. That is Zandy Willems that's flipped over at the bottom of Green Day.
Willem's upside down, but he's also disqualified. He left the race course at the start line, went to the hot pits, and then decided to get back out in the race course himself.
So that is number 19, Paul Horschel, our physical leader.
It's Zandy Willems. That's
I believe he is cleared through.
Green Day, but he also, and he's dumping fluid, but he also
Brittany Spears. So we should have Paul Horschel here in the infield in just a few minutes. There's Ryan Miller with all 4 tires again. There's Lauren Healey right in front of Bailey Campbell's car, driven by Ryan Miller.
Okay, I'm sorry, man. I'm going by video, and it's tough to make sense of what's happening.
So it's a great shot of 2-time king Lauren Healey in a Paul Horschel built machine. Ford horsepower in that Ford Bronco inspired Ultra 4 car. Pam, we've had a shakeup, haven't we? What a heck of a race.
Definitely. And here we have Brian Crofts in the view right now. Who is that right behind him? Lauren Healey. And then we have Ryan Miller behind Lauren.
And a huge wheel stand out of Lauren Healey trying to get away from Ryan Miller. And Ryan Miller's like, I'm having too much fun. Let's hit the happy throttle and chase down a 2-time king.
It's amazing to see that nothing else happened with Ryan's car because of having those 2 right flats. I mean, anytime you have flats like that, you can definitely possibly break a line for the brakes or all kinds of factors that can come in with that. But he's out there. They got him changed up, and he's back on a mission.
So I believe that's Bailey Cole, and it looks like Waylon Campbell's taking the no, he's not taking the bypass. That is Brittany Spears. The bypass is up and over. So we do have Paul Horschel coming in. He'll be heading out on his 6th lap out of 8.
On the radio, Rufus Racing.
Okay, I'm trying to find the pit now.
There's Bailey coming down the wash.
So there's Bailey Cole. He has already taken the joker line, starting to chase down Paul Horschel. So race strategy is starting to come into Bailey Cole's hand, but Paul Horschel does have the lead. I should have Paul Horschel here on the infield any moment. Great shot of Bailey Cole in that 2-seat Trent Fab IFS machine with his best friend Tom riding shotgun. So coming into your right should be Paul Horschel any second.
Yeah, it's confirmed. That's actually Waylon Campbell behind Bailey.
So there's Lauren Healey stopped on course, but we still are missing Von Gittin and Shannon Campbell.
And so Zandy left the course and came out to the hot pit.
So I do see Bailey Cole coming in. I didn't see Paul Horschel. Did he come through yet? Did I miss him? Sorry, I did miss Paul. He did go out on his 6th lap, but Bailey Cole is absolutely starting to catch him.
That should be physical 3rd, right?
So physical 2nd position on screen is Bailey Cole dropping down the Yukon and MBRP ledges.
Waylon Campbell's on fire at the bottom of the wash. Okay, tow truck, come down the hill. Anybody that can come down the hill from Lockjaw down to the wash.
We have action everywhere. Here comes Bailey Cole heading out on his 6th lap out of 8, so just 3 more to go. So still a great shot of Bailey Cole physically in 2nd position, but remember he did race. Oh, there's Lauren Healey completely pulled over. It looks like he is possibly having overheating issues also. He's at the back of the car, and a tough break for Lauren Healey.
It's never a good sign when you see a race car driver getting their tool bag out on course.
Never a good sign. And remember, he's in a single-seater, so he's out there all by himself. Doesn't have extra hands, extra eyes.
That's why you have to work on your own car so you know what to do.
3rd place has a flat, not Paul.
Sounds like 3rd place has a flat tire. Sounds like Von Gittin Jr. does have a flat tire. So that's going to give Paul Horschel and Bailey Cole an edge. They are dropping like flies. Attrition is setting in, and this race is proving to be a tough one. But that's playing into Paul Horschel and Bailey Cole's favor. And remember, on strategy, Paul has not ran the joker line. Bailey Cole has. So when's Paul going to run it?
Only time will tell.
Who are you calling, JT?
If it was me, I'd run it the next lap if it's clear.
You need a what on 218? Going down the hill.
Sounds like Shannon Campbell's having some power steering issues.
Is he on course or off course? It's a pretty clear line.
Wait to see what he does if he goes down. He's stuck in front of the race car right now.
Okay, let me know if he proceeds off course or on course. Thank you.
So they're starting to drop like flies. Healey dropped back. Vaughn Gittin has a flat, but Bailey Cole chasing down Paul Horschel.
Yes, he's at the top of the hill. You should see him facing you right now.
I don't understand. Where's he at?
Top of the hill, like heading down into the ravine.
So he's leaving the race. Shannon Campbell's pit, do you copy?
That looks like it's the Bronco of Vaughn Gittin Jr., but we heard he had a flat tire. Which one is it? Looks like there's a lot of dust on the left rear side, possibly.
That's his flat tire.
It looks like it's on the front because he's having a little bit of steering issues on the front left.
So tough break for Vaughn Gittin, but he's close enough. It looks like he's pulling off right now. He's pretty close to the hot pits, but he's going to pull off. Nope, no, he is not. His best friend Eric Davis riding shotgun with him. Vaughn Gittin physical third position, but he will be pulling in the hot pits soon. So, boy, Paul Horschel and Bailey Cole are starting to run away with this as long as they can keep their car together.
He is apparently on the side road heading.
So there's a great shot of three-time king Shannon Campbell, and it looks like that's Waylon Campbell out of his car coming over to talk with his dad, trying to see what's going on, but it looks like possibly Waylon's out of the race, possibly Shannon's out of the race. So tough break for the Campbells.
Paulson first. Healey's in second. Vaughn's in
No way.
So there is Vaughn Gittin Jr. coming in,
my backup. So you're saying
but he does have a left front flat, so this is going to be a little tricky for him.
If Waylon stops, Waylon might have parts for him. I'm not sure. I tried to get a hold of him.
So Vaughn Gittin Jr. physically in third position heading out on his sixth lap.
he has left the race course, so at this point he's out of the race. I mean, you can't leave the race course, drive down the wheel, and to get parts to drive back onto the race course. It doesn't work that way.
No, he did not come back to get parts. I'm not sure what he's doing. But he told us he was out. So that's my assumption.
Copy that. I see Whale.
Right now the camera has eyes on Waylon. He's out off the side of the course. Not sure what happened with his car, but looks like he will be out of the race right now.
So there's physical race leader Paul Horschel, number 19.
Trying to get up out of the way. If he
That is our physical race leader as we speak.
Trying to get through some lap traffic here. I believe that was the number 10 of Dave Oliver is in front of him.
So I hear Shannon Campbell and Waylon Campbell are officially out of the race. Both of them had some issues, so tough break for them. But, boy, it looks like where are the Gomez brothers in the mix? They're doing good. We're out on our, I believe this is out on their 7th lap out of 8. There's another great shot of Paul Horschel, number 19, in that single seat Paul Horschel built IFS machine.
Sorry about your luck, man.
Looks like that's Brian Crofts giving him a thumbs up. So Brian Crofts is having issues. So the whole Campbell crew is having some bad luck today. But it's still Paul Horschel that got the pole. He's been leading this entire race, just like Cole Clark and Cade Rod.
If you noticed, Brian was sitting there, had his spare tire out, and he's ready to go to change that tire. So another tire issue.
And remember,
Tires.
he's in a single-seater, so that's a little tougher for these guys, just like Paul Horschel. So if Paul has a tire issue, at least Bailey has Tom riding shotgun, gives him the advantage on swapping a spare. And Dave just told me Bailey's not even carrying a spare, so he's going to have to wing it. And you can see Paul's car there, no spare at all either. So they're trusting their Nitto tires. But look at the lap traffic that Paul Horschel was coming into. And that's Bailey Cole coming up behind lap traffic in Green Day. And Paul Horschel is clear of Green Day. Green Day is not quite halfway through the lap. So next up, Paul Horschel will be going through Rage Against the Machine. Paul Horschel's definitely getting slowed down by this lap traffic, and there's another great shot with Lauren Healey on the left and then Bailey Cole coming around. He did get around the lap traffic, so he'll be coming towards the top of Green Day. So Bailey Cole there, the 4454 2C IFS Trent Fab machine, physically in second.
Go ahead, bring it.
So a great shot of Bailey Cole right there, the 4454 Nitto Yukon sponsored machine. King Shocks looking like they're in great shape. Bailey Cole running an amazing race. He qualified second yesterday and has held a physical second all day long. Here's that little tight left, and you can see how dug out it's getting, but Bailey Cole makes quick work out of Green Day.
Yeah, it's
So
tight up, but you saw how easy he just made that look.
So I believe on adjusted time, J.P. Gomez could be physically sitting in second position, and I think Raul's still in the mix too, so it's going to be a race to the finish. And that's the disadvantage for Paul Horschel because he doesn't know how far back these guys are. But it looks like Paul Horschel's going to get around a couple cars here and start making some dust.
He's
But
trying
remember,
to keep
Paul
that
still
clean air
needs to
that he had this morning.
Remember, Paul Horschel still needs to hit the joker line in Britney Spears. So there's number 83, Raul Gomez, the King-sponsored machine. Physical fourth place. Sorry, on time he's on fourth place. Number 83, Raul Gomez, Gomez Brothers Racing, another Nitto athlete. And you can see the King Shocks wrapping that machine. A single seat IFS UFO Joe Thompson built machine. Those things are absolute work of art. I believe that's our physical race leader, Paul Horschel. Should be making his way towards Lockjaw. I got a little ahead of myself. They've got 4 laps complete. They're out on their 5th lap. So we are just over the halfway mark here for the 2020 Lasernut Beatdown at Area BFE here in Moab, Utah. Sounds like Paul Horschel's coming down Lockjaw as we speak, and that was Raul Gomez, I believe.
Second place is at the bottom of Rage Against the Machine coming up to you.
That looks like Dan Wyrick. We gave him a time credit because he helped and stopped a fellow competitor. So great shout out to Dan Wyrick, number 218, racing in memory of his son. That's another beautiful built UFO by Joe Thompson, single seat IFS, just like most of the Gomez brothers. Levi Shirley up to 5th on adjusted time.
We just had the 530 of Joe Hutchins go through the start-finish.
There's Randy Slauson, a 2-time king in his bomber chassis, heading out for another lap. There's Jeff McKinley with Ironman Racing in a single-seat IFS Jimmy's car, number 34, Jeff McKinley. He just raced with us there in Crandon, Wisconsin at the Big House. He does a lot of rock crawling with Cody Wagner. There's action all over the course. Again, thank you, Nitto, Can-Am, Ford, Monster, Optima, 4-Wheel Parts, Progressive, Lasernut, Warren King Shocks, just to name a few. Thank you for sticking with us all season long. It's been a great year for a goofy year.
Hey, Brian, can you relay down to Britney Spears and find out if the leader 19 has taken the Joker yet?
There's Chris Paiva, number 906 with North Shore Racing. That's why we have a little bit of a break in the action. We're going to take a quick break, pay some bills, and we'll be right back to racing action after this.
22 years of off-road racing dominance. Proprietary patented race technology. Proudly made in the USA. Unparalleled customer service and support. The choice of champions. King Shocks, the leader in off-road shock technology.
Do you mind being a motor?
What could be better than being a motor? The real question is, do you mind not being a motor?
I do. For those who were born to ride, there's Progressive.
And welcome back to the 2020 Lasernut Beatdown at Area BFE in beautiful Moab, Utah. While we were on break, you guys just missed Paul Horschel coming through, finishing his 5th lap, heading out on lap 6. And he is still launching down the Yukon ledge and then dropping down the MBRP ledge. So what a heck of a race Paul's doing. I believe on adjusted time, JP just squeaked into 2nd, and Bailey Cole still sitting in that 3rd position. On adjusted time. On physical, it's still Paul Horschel and Bailey Cole out front, but JP's running one hell of a race. So we've got over 2,000 people tuning in all over the world, so thank you for staying tuned in. Tell your friends, ultra4racing.com/live. Get on the Facebook, hit the share button. There is a Gomez on screen. I believe that's Raul, so he's probably in the top 5 on adjusted time. Still running a great race. Both Gomez brothers that are here racing, Raul and JP, running strong. So there's Bailey Cole coming down the Yukon and MBRP ledges. So he is finishing his 5th lap, heading out on lap 6, physically in 2nd position. So there's Bailey Cole crossing out, finishing 5, heading out on 6. Sounds like he's 2 minutes down on Horschel, so Bailey Cole's going to have to pick it up just a little bit because there's a minute 40 on adjusted time between him and Horschel.
2 minutes.
So he's 2 minutes down on adjusted time, sorry. So on screen there is Mike Bad Daddy Boo. I believe he is a lap down. Number 54 in that single seat Tribe 16 built machine. Previously driven by 3-time King of the Hammers winner Jason Shear, and then the one and only Tom Ways drove that car for a while also. Remember, it was Icon Orange. What a heck of a race we had. We had Ryan Miller out front early, and then he had one flat turned into 2 flats, so he dropped back on pace. I believe he's still top 10. There's Levi Shirley on screen. I believe that is the top of Green Day. Yes, it is, and that's towards the top there. You just saw Lauren Healey still pull over, so he had a mechanical failure. So tough break for Lauren Healey, another 2-time king. There's Raul Gomez coming through, finishing lap 5 out on 6.
Raul 7 seconds ahead of him.
Sounds like Raul's 7 seconds ahead of Bailey Cole, so that bumps him into 4th position. So on adjusted time, it's Horschel, JP, and Raul. So it looks like Waylon Campbell may have overheated or something, but it looks like he's back on course, number 3 AZ. So let me give you a quick update on Jeff Mckinley. He started dead last, and he's moved all the way up to that 6th position. So great job by Jeff Mckinley, Ironman Racing, number 34. That looks like Brian Croft's right there. He got back going. Not sure if he changed a tire or what happened. Waylon was out, but it looks like he's back in. It sounds like Shannon Campbell is out officially. It's not looking good for Lauren Healey. The attrition is absolutely starting to set in. The leaders are out on their 6th lap. Out of 8. There's Raul coming in the screen. You can see that King Shock wrap on that single-seat UFO Joe Thompson built machine, heading up Upper Hellerado. I just saw another single-seat car. That looks like Mr. Dan Wyrick, 218, heading up El Dorado. And that's Brian Cross. He just came down the Yukon and MBRP ledges. He took a pretty good tumble in practice, but those Campbell Energy cars really hold up strong.
We saw him here a little bit ago, too, sitting on the side with the flat tire, so he'll have to stop right here and change that out on the rack, because you don't want to do another lap and not have a good tire on the rack.
That's a great point, Pam. There looks like John Hall on screen. He's a lap down, I believe. What a great race we've had thus far today, but it's still a Paul Horschel show. We've got both Gomez brothers in the mix. Bailey Coles, I think, bumped out to 4th position in corrected time, but it is anybody's race because it just takes one flat tire to change this whole thing.
Look at that dust bowl. The dust is playing a factor right now here in this infield.
The wind is still blowing, but just a little bit. We were hoping for that 18-mile-an-hour wind, but it is just probably around that 5-mile-an-hour wind. And like you said, it's starting to turn to dust bowl. I believe that's John Hall coming down the Yukon MBRP ledges. Old school rock crawler from Northern California. There's Vaughn Gittin. Looks like he's must have got that tire changed, and a teammate right behind him, Ryan Miller, driving Bailey Campbell's car.
As the sun is setting also, Miles, you can see that it'll kind of play with them a little bit on how they will see the rocks. But right now, we have Paul Horschel catching up to the cars in front of him, some more lap traffic.
And on screen, number 19, Paul Horschel. That's our physical leader and on adjusted time. He's heading up the top. And look, so you see the top of Green Day starting to be a bottleneck. So Paul Horschel makes a quick decision, takes a right. So that adds about 300 or 400 yards of real estate, but he's not stuck in that bottleneck trying to get around. Looks like that could be Dan Wyrick. And that's where Lauren Healey's car's he tried to get out of the way, but it's just barely sticking out, but still definitely plenty of room to get around. Paul Horschel took the long bypass, but did not get stuck behind Wyrick. So as long as he can make quick work of it. There he is at the left of your screen. There's the live drone catching up with him. Yeah, quick thinking by Paul Horschel. This is his race to lose. He's been out front all day long, but run an amazing race. And that brand new car, he's only got 2 races at Crandon on it. And those were mainly short course with a little bit of rocks in one at the night race. But this thing's really taking its toll and proving to be what Paul Horschel wanted to do. So Ryan Miller's back up to 5th position on adjusted time, right behind Vaughn Gittin Jr., but on time, he's got him. So Ryan Miller had both those flats and still making up time, so he could still put a podium position. On screen right there is Bailey Cole, number 4454, and that 2-seat Trent Fab IFS machine with Tom riding shotgun. They've been racing together for a very long time. They did extremely well the last few years in the 4800 Brannick Motorsports Legends class, but this year they've stepped up in a huge way into the 4400 Nitto Unlimited class. That car came from Darren and Darlene Hinkie, but they've totally revamped it. That's the car that was completely submerged just 2 weeks ago. The team got together and look at it running out front strong, physically in second position, but corrected time, top 5 for sure. So we have Eric Foster, 4412, dropping out of the race. Tough break for him. But there's a great shot of Bailey Cole still making it up Green Day. Sounds like the Gomez brothers just passed each other. And JT, I just heard them through the PCI race radio. It was an awesome pass. And you know they're on the same channel, just giving each other some grief. That's Hunter Miller, I believe, with Kevin Williams, if I'm not mistaken. The husband and wife team. There is action all over. Yeah, so it's husband and wife versus husband and wife. Great to see them out there racing together. Relationship building 101. That looks like a Gomez brother. So which one's in the lead? It looks like JP got around Raul. So Raul got around, but now it looks like JP's back in front. So we got multiple passes between the Gomez brothers. And you know what? They're best friends, but they're not scared to rub a little tire. They love having fun. And you cannot, you'll hear them tonight in their pits reliving the memories and laughing. They got the loudest, best laugh out of Ultra 4. The whole Gomez group is a lot of fun to be around, and they are here to stay. Levi Shirley still running strong in that 5th position in his single-seat IFS Campbell Enterprise machine. Only 4 minutes splits the top 5, so it's going to be a race to the finish. The top 5 are close. We have Paul Horschel, Bailey Cole, both Gomez brothers, and Levi Shirley mixing it up on adjusted time. Remember, they did leave in 20-second increments. They are racing their own time. It is going to be 8 laps. They finished 5. They are out on 6. So it looks like that's Raul in the center of our screen. So JP jackrabbit up there a little bit. What a great shot from our aerial view. Again, thank you, Dixie Off-Road, for letting us use our internet and shooting it out here to Area BFE. The Hammer King production crew has been doing an amazing job. Don't forget to log on to ultra4racing.com. Use promo code BEATDOWN20, all capitals BEATDOWN20, and get 20% off all our swag. That is the number 99 of Kevin Williams. This is his first race racing with us. He's got his wife, Brittany, riding shotgun, and we had a good talk with them yesterday, and they were the biggest smiles I have seen in a long time. They are excited to be here racing with us at Ultra 4. Pam, you've raced with your husband quite a bit. Give us a rundown on how that works in the race car.
It works very well, actually, as long as you get along. Because if you didn't get along and you're in the car with somebody like that, you couldn't do it. But them yesterday, they were so cute together. They were both so happy, so excited. And I can remember my first time racing with my husband. I was super stoked and super happy. And it really does. It builds your relationship. Here we have Brian Crofts right here on screen.
And you just saw Tommy Dykstra. He's in that full-body Jeep, but it's got a big motor. They're going to be racing King of the Hammers, if I'm not mistaken. So great to see him out here giving it a good pre-run. But on screen is Brian Crofts, number 9, in that single-seat IFS Campbell Enterprise machine. That is Bailey Campbell's fiance. They've got a little girl on the way. So huge congratulations to Bailey Campbell and Brian Crofts. That looks like it could be Brendan Thompson in the 5150, if I'm not mistaken. Seems like he's a little bit off pace, but still moving. So that is 5150 Brendan Thompson. You've seen him on TV at Paul Jr. Designs building motorcycles. Pretty cool to see him out here. That is Joe Thompson's brother. There's the number 97 of Jeremy Hammer still cruising along, heading out for another lap. There's two-time king Randy Slauson still moving. I believe he's got his brother Mike Slauson riding shotgun with him in his bomber chassis. That is Mr. Bomber himself, Randy Slauson. Back on screen, our physical race leader is Paul Horschel. And he has taken the Joker line, as well as Bailey Cole. So Paul Horschel is still out front running a great race. So far, it's his race to lose. We'll see what happens. I'm sure he's in current contact with his team, letting them know the time splits, just like we're letting you guys know. So right where Paul Horschel's getting, there's a 25-mile-an-hour speed limit, and he'll be coming in very shortly. Sounds like Bailey Cole had to stop on course. Not sure what happened. Sounds like an 82. Gomez got around him. That's probably JP, if I'm not mistaken. And then Raul's hot on his heels also.
We have the 530 here having to winch out. Yeah, this is the 530 of Joe Hutchins.
So it sounds like Bailey Campbell's back to moving. He's only about 20 seconds behind JP Gomez. So physically on course, Bailey Cole has dropped that back to third position. But fourth position. Both Gomez brothers got around him. So he's still running a great race. Just dropped off pace just a tick. That looks like it's, there goes back to Paul Horschel. So he is finishing lap 6, heading out for 7.
He's had a flawless run today, so far.
What a great run for Paul Horschel. It's his race out there. He's out front with a commanding lead.
I can get him fluid after the race. I don't know what you're asking me to do, Trot.
So Paul Horschel, number 19, with the whole shot, and hasn't been passed yet by a current driver. On screen, I believe that's Vaughn Gittin Jr. and his Ford Bronco Ford Power Machine.
I'm in the hot pits. I'm in race-ups.
Is that Lauren Healey moving again, I believe? Looked like I saw that Bronco design on top.
Yes, Paul Horschel just finished lap 6.
So yes, not sure what happened to Healey, but number 67, two-time king, Lauren Healey back out, but a couple laps down. So tough break, not sure what happened, but good to see the car still moving. Ford Bronco-inspired Ultra 4 rig with Ford horsepower. There's Chris Paiva and Dave Cole's old core. North Shore Racing. He raced Crandon with us just a couple weeks back. There's Chip McLaughlin heading out for another lap with Rufus Racing. I'm sure the Rufus barbecue joint is excited to see Zandy and Chip still having a good time. Looks like that is Raul Gomez and that King machine. and that single-seat IFS Joe Thompson built UFO. So still out front, it's Horschel, and then Gomez, then Bailey Cole. JP in front of Raul. That looks like it's Bailey Cole, the number 4454, in the sand wash there. So he has cleared Brittany Spears. Still looks like he's running a pretty solid run. Not sure what happened, but hopefully he can pull it together and get back up to that podium position. Something's hanging. It looks like his rear tailgate's flopping a little bit off pace. Not sure what's going on. He had a great run going all day long. This is his first year running the Ultra 4 4400 class. Sounds like there's possibly something wrong on the front end of Bailey's car, so that's a tough break. That's why he's a little off pace. But right here is Raul Gomez, finishing lap 6, heading out for 7, trying to chase down his brother, JP, and Paul Horschel. So physically out on course is Paul Horschel, then JP Gomez, then Raul Gomez. So the Gomez brothers are having a great show. They've only got a couple more laps to go to pull it all together. We'll see if they can both be on the podium. Is it going to be Paul Horschel on top? Time will tell. Pam, we've had a lot of mix-ups today, haven't we?
A lot. I'm really surprised. Well, I guess I shouldn't say I'm surprised, but this course is brutal, and it's definitely taken a toll on a lot of these cars, tires for sure, issues with front ends. We have Mike Boo up here right now. Here we are. I believe that's Paul Horschel we're showing on screen right now.
And just getting some information, JP Gomez is only 12 seconds off of Paul Horschel, so it is going to be down to the wire. It will be a race to the finish. What an awesome day of racing. We started this morning at 8 a.m. We've been racing for almost 9.5 hours. I've had fun. I hope you guys have been tuned in off and on all day long. Our next race will be the 4-Wheel Parts Nitto National Championship in Davis, Oklahoma at the Crossbar Ranch, October 23rd and 24th. So if you can't make it there, be sure to tune in, ultra4racing.com/live. But right now, we just got a couple more laps to go for the 2020 Lasernut Beatdown at Area BFE here in beautiful Moab, Utah. The wind has picked up just a little bit once again. On screen is Raul Gomez, not too far off of JP Gomez's heels. Looks like John Hall's at the bottom. He pulled off, letting the leaders pass. Great class act once again. Thank you again, Nitto, Can-Am, Ford, Monster, Optima, 4-Wheel Parts, Progressive, Lasernut, Warren King, Amsoil, Griffin, Holly, Titan Fuel Tanks, Boxo Tools, Yukon Gear, The Fab School, PCI Race Radios, Lasernut, and Steal It, just to name a few. Sounds like Bailey is in the hot pits. It looks like they're working on the back right of the car. We heard front, but it could be back. So hopefully we can get that car put back together. On screen is Mike Bad Daddy Boo, heading out for another lap. Believe he is a lap down. So Bailey is on the lead lap, but in the hot pits. Bailey Cole's working on the car. They've got all hands on deck. There's different team members from every team jumping in and lending a hand. Great to see that. Part of the Ultra 4 camaraderie.
On screen we have Brian Crofts. He's trying to make up some time to make up for the flat that he had earlier.
It's been a great day of racing. We had Cade Rod win earlier. We had Dan Fresh win earlier, Cole Clark, and Josh Atterbury. So we've had a lot of racing today, lots of winners, and this race is not over yet. There's a great shot of Raul Gomez and that King-sponsored machine. All 4 Nitto tires looking like they're holding up. Raul Gomez running a great race today. Still trying to chase down his brother JP. It sounds like they had a little bit of passing action going on earlier today. Heard on my PCI race radio from race director JT Taylor. These are the Swiss Army knife of off-road. They can go slow, they can go fast, they can go through the mud. These things can do it all. There's Brian Croft finishing another lap. There is Ryan Miller driving Bailey Campbell's car. He's still running a great race out there. Possibly a brake issue on the back of Bailey Cole's car. They're trying to get it fixed, so get him out on course. He was running that second position for such a long time, so tough break for Bailey Cole. There's our race leader, Paul Horschel. Number 19, Nitto athlete. Paul Horschel still out front all day long.
44-54 back on course.
Sounds like 44-54 back on course, so hopefully they got the car figured out and he can pick up the pace a little bit. Now he knows he's only got 2 laps to go, and he's going to have to send it to get on the podium.
Donnie, can you find out?
Paul Horschel having to back up just a tick. Not sure, had a bad little hop there. No, that's at the top of Green Day, so there must have been another bottleneck. So Paul Horschel backs up, runs around, and taking the bypass. Like I said, it adds 300 or 400 yards of real estate, but you don't have to wait in lap traffic. Paul Horschel still our race leader. You can see that car stuck right there. Sounds like it was a rear sway bar link that broke on the rear end, so they pulled the link and sent him out with no rear sway bar. So Bailey Cole still has a good chance to have a great day of racing. So 2 more laps. Hopefully Bailey Cole can pull it together. And remember, still 10 more miles of racing. Anything could happen. Paul Horschel could have a flat. Any Gomez brother could have an issue. Remember, Raul at King of the Hammers was doing great and lost an upper Heim on his A-arm and had to way slow it down. So there's JP Gomez. I believe he's our physical second. And that's Jeremy Hammer lap traffic, if I'm not mistaken. Yes, number 97. JP gets around him in Green Day. JP started in 9th position. Raul started in 6th, and on the pole is Paul Horschel. So it will come down to the wire on adjusted time. They left in 20-second increments, so this will be down to the wire. Levi just cleared Britney Spears with a rear flat tire. On screen is JP Gomez, our physical second position. He's won at the Stampede. He's won at Ridgecrest. He would love to win here in Moab. Look at the King Shocks really working. Another Nitto athlete, JP Gomez, physically in second position. Heading up the top of Green Day as we speak. The number 218, that's Dan Wyrick stopped at the top. He's out of his car, not sure what happened. Sounds like he's out of power steering fluid. So tough break for Dan Wyrick. There's Ryan Miller driving Bailey Campbell's car heading up Hellerado. There is Raul Gomez, physical third position in that King Shocks UFO machine. You see those RCV bells in the front, still looking good, pulling those front Nitto tires.
You're stopping him, he's got a flat front right, but you're also stopping him.
Great shot Raul is not too far off at JP's pace, so it's going to be interesting to see. You know they're giving each other a hard time. And I've talked to them at KOH. Sometimes they'll call out false mile markers just messing with each other. So we'll see what happens after the race. But Raul and JP are having fun. On screen is Vaughn Gittin Jr. That's our physical fifth position with a right front flat on that Ford Bronco. So he'll be heading into the hot pits. So Levi Shirley's not too far, so he will probably pass. No, he's got a flat tire also, so it's going to be down to the hot pits. Who's doing what? Looks like Dan Wyrick got a little bit of steering fluid from Chick McLaughlin. So that top 5 is getting mixed up. Levi Shirley and Vaughn Gittin will be in the hot pits racing to change a tire. I may be mistaken. I don't know if I see a flat tire on Levi. So nope, all 4 tires looking good. On adjusted time, Levi is in 4th position. So he's on the bubble. Is he going to be able to make it in? So what a race for Levi Shirley. He started way back in 28th position. So on adjusted time, he's got a huge advantage over some of these other guys. So great run for Levi Shirley. Vaughn Gittin Jr. has had a great run all day. There's Ryan Miller driving Bailey Campbell's car. Pam, what a race we got on our hands. We are 6 laps completed, out on lap 7. Paul Horschel should be coming through here in probably 10 minutes. Looks like Green Day has a little bit of a bottleneck there. What a great day of racing. We started this morning at 8 a.m. and the 2020 Lasernut Beatdown at Area BFE in Moab has not been a disappointment. I've had a blast. I hope you guys have back at home. Looks like John Hall at the lead there in Green Day. Just on this trail, he's a lap or 2 down. Following him is Chris Paiva, number 906 with North Shore Racing. Looks like John Hall has a left rear flat, so hopefully he can find a spot to pull over, because that's going to be extremely difficult. He does have a spare tire on the back and a co-driver.
You could tell he had something going on when he made that. He couldn't quite make that right-hand turn to get around where he was trying to go.
Looks like that's Randy Slauson getting ready to pass another car. Looks like that's Kevin Sturz and his BDS pulls over for Randy, two-time king, Randy Slauson in his bomber chassis. Looks like the hood is off, so I'm not sure what they had earlier, or if they're just trying to keep cool, because it is in the 90s out here today.
Robert, you here?
Back to John Hall with that left rear flat in Green Day.
He's either trying to limp it somewhere or he just hasn't found the proper place to pull over to get out of the way.
And Chris Paiva is all over John Hall's tail. I'm sure he's giving him the horn, but just not quite the spot to pull over. Chris Paiva with North Shore Racing is patiently awaiting, trying to get around John Hall. There's a good shot of Bailey Cole heading up the bottom of Green Day. So he's going to have to pick it up, trying to make the podium. Don't forget to tune in. You can go to www.drifttodirt.com and register to win a Ford Mustang or a Ford Trimmer. That's part of Vaughn Gittin Jr. and Lauren Healey's little campaign, Team Fun Haver. So get on. You could take a Mustang or a Trimmer home. How cool would that be? There is our race leader, Paul Horschel, having an awesome race. He started on the pole and has not looked back since, just like Cade Rod earlier in the day and Cole Clark. So I believe here in just a few minutes, Paul Horschel will be getting the white flag next time coming through, finishing 7, heading out on 8. Paul Horschel still dealing with some lap traffic, gets around him, and I think as soon as they see that bright orange car, they realize that is the race leader, and they let him get around. There's Ryan Miller in that 2C IFS Campbell Enterprise car getting hung up at the top of Green Day. Grabs reverse, going to turn driver left. Back to Paul Horschel. So we'll see Paul Horschel here in the infield here in just a couple minutes. There's back to Bailey Cole, number 4454. He was running in second position almost all day long, but had a rear sway bar link let loose and cost him some time. So tough break for Bailey Cole, but he's still running a great race. So there is Paul Horschel still launching down the Yukon MBRP ledges, making another pass. Paul Horschel is pushing all the way to the finish line. So he will be finishing his 7th lap, heading out for his 8th and final lap. So he should be getting the white flag next time through. There is the white flag flying for Paul Horschel, heading out for his 8th and final lap. Our race leader, Paul Horschel, with a commanding lead. Paul Horschel out on his 8th and final lap. The white flag flew for him. There's Kevin Stearns going out for another lap. He's a lap or 2 down. So who's it going to be? Which Gomez brother's going to be behind Paul Horschel? Levi Shirley's going to be in the mix. Bailey Cole's still in the mix. JP and Raul Gomez. How about, don't forget about Vaughn Gittin Jr. So that looks to be, that is JP Gomez physically in second position, but on corrected time, it's going to be very close. JP started in 9th position. So we'll get the time splits here very soon, and it's going to be very, very close between JP Gomez and Paul Horschel. New leader, JP Gomez, by a minute 30, so Paul Horschel's going to have to pick it up. JP Gomez is running one hell of a race. And now Raul is starting to catch up. Wow, it is going to be a race to the finish. Do you think his teammates are going to let Paul Horschel know to pick it up a little bit? Because JP has stepped up his game. So JP Gomez on corrected time in first. Then it's Paul Horschel. That's Brian Caprera on screen. That looks to be Paul Horschel at the top of Hellerado. This is going to be a race all the way down to the wire. We are on adjusted time. They left in 20-second increments. Thanks again to USAC for being our sanctioning body this weekend.
All 5 leader cars have taken Brittany.
So I've got visual on Raul Gomez, physical 3rd position in the short course. He'll be jumping down the Yukon MBRP ledges as we speak. Just to the left of your screen, there he is, Raul Gomez, physical 3rd position. Raul started in 6th position, so JP's still definitely ahead of him. So it's going to be close. 2nd place, Paul Horschel or Raul Gomez. We'll find out shortly. And that is at the start-finish for the split times. So Raul taking the white flag, the 3rd position on the 8th and final lap. Sounds like Raul Gomez is in 3rd place, so corrected time is JP Gomez, then Paul Horschel, then Raul Gomez. He's a minute 15 behind Paul Horschel, Raul Gomez is. So it is going to be, the top 3 are within minutes. This is going to be a race to the finish. That could be Hunter and Kimberly Sparrow, if I'm not mistaken. Husband and wife team. This is the 2020 Lasernut Beatdown at Area BFE here in Moab, Utah. It's been a marvelous weekend of racing. We qualified racing yesterday and then started this morning at 8 a.m. and have been racing all day long nonstop. So the next person is Lauren Healey, but he is a lap or 2 down. Remember, he was stuck on the side of the course up in Green Day for quite some time. But he's still back moving. He's got that Ford Bronco-inspired Ultra 4 rig, Ford horsepower, Monster Energy, Nitto athlete, Lauren Healey, 2-time king, still moving right along. He knows he's out of contention, but he's here to put on a show for all of you guys at home, so thank you for staying tuned in.
I can't see these numbers, but none of them are... No, negative.
Looks like that's Brendan Thompson and Chip McLaughlin coming through. They're a lap down as well, I believe.
35-9 and 44-54 have all just cleared lockjaw.
So we got 34-9 that just cleared lockjaw. Heading down towards Brittany Spears. That's Hunter and Kimberly Sparrow, number 72. They just got done racing the 4800 Brannick Motorsports Legends class and hopped in a different car, swapped seats, and out here racing with the 4400 Nitto Unlimited class. Great to see them. We saw Sean Rance. We saw Sean Rance not swap cars like Kimberly and Hunter, but I haven't seen him for a little while. So his 4500 Yukon gear and axle modified car, that little Bronco must have had an issue somewhere out on course. This is going to mix things up for the 4 Wheel Parts Nitto National Championship in Davis, Oklahoma at the Crossbar Ranch, October 23rd and 24th next month. So be sure we will be live bringing out all the stops. It's going to be a great weekend of racing. That is a bomber. That is Kevin Williams and Brittany, I believe. There's Bailey Cole on course, the 4454, still moving good even though he doesn't have that rear sway bar. The 2-seat IFS Trent Fab machine still looks like it's in great shape. There's our race leader, Paul Horschel, number 19 in that Nitto powered machine. Ford Bronco inspired Ultra 4 rig that's been out front all day long physically, but remember, on corrected time, it could be JP Gomez. We won't know till the finish line. Paul Horschel with a huge wheel stand, running an awesome race. Remember, he's physically out front, but on corrected time, it looks like it's JP Gomez. But again, we will not know the final until the finish line, and we'll check in with USAC.
Thank you very much, Reggie. Great work.
He's at the top of Green Day, powering those Nitto tires through. There's Dan Wyrick, still broke down. Tough luck for him. So Levi Shirley on adjusted time in 4th position, just on that bubble. But Bailey Cole could still be in the mix. It all comes down to this last and final 8th lap. There's Brian Crofts, I believe, just cruising through. And there's JP Gomez, physical 2nd position, just a couple of minutes behind Paul Horschel physically, but on corrected time, I think he's got him. It's going to be a race to the finish, down to the wire. JP Gomez, Paul Horschel, and Raul Gomez. But don't forget, Levi Shirley and Bailey Cole are still in the mix. Bailey Campbell, driven by Ryan Miller. Still on screen is JP Gomez, physical 2nd position, but on adjusted time, he may be squeaking out Paul Horschel. It's going to be down to this 8th and final lap. Our top 3 are out on their last lap. Mountain Enterprise Machine, King Shock sponsored. Nitto athlete, JP Gomez, running an amazing race. So a great shot of JP Gomez out front. So there's JP Gomez back on screen, looking good, looking smooth on adjusted time. He's running an amazing race with his brother Raul Gomez hot on his heels, but still physically out front is Paul Horschel. We'll see how it all shakes out with on adjusted time. So that is Raul Gomez on screen in Green Day. And there's JP Gomez, I believe. He's clear of Green Day, heading towards Rage Against the Machine. So that is JP Gomez. How far back is Raul? There he is, number 83, Raul Gomez. King Shock's machine working great. Great shot of Raul Gomez bumping and driving over the same car of Dan Wyrick, but still making forward momentum. Crawled over the back of it. Dan Wyrick may be back in the car, it looks like. Hopefully he got enough power steering fluid in there to finish his lap. He's definitely a few laps down. It's still just Paul Horschel, JP Gomez, and Raul out on their 8th and final lap. We still have Levi Shirley in the mix. Ryan Miller in the mix, driving for Bailey Campbell. And then Bailey Cole on the bubbles for the top 5. We'll see how it plays out. There's a great shot. I believe that's Raul Gomez and that single-seat IFS UFO Joe Thompson built machine. Looks like Levi Shirley is in that 4th place position on adjusted time. Sounds like our physical leader, Paul Horschel, through Lockjaw his last lap, so he's probably 10 minutes out from grabbing the checkered flag. It'll be down to the wire. We'll see if anything else shakes in. There's a great shot of Raul Gomez as we speak. So 35, Ryan Miller driving for Bailey Campbell has moved in the top 5 on adjusted time. Great job by Ryan Miller. Bailey Coles, I believe, in that 6th position, so hopefully he can pick it up and get a top 5 today. This is the 2020 Lasernut Beatdown at Area BFE here in beautiful Moab, Utah. Pam, I'm having a great time. How about yourself? Pam, it's been a great day of racing. How's everything shaking down on your side? So Pam, this thing is shaking out. There's Von Gittin Jr. on screen. Looks like he's bumping somebody. Is that John Hall? Got around him. This thing's shaking down the wire, Pam. How's everything going?
It's definitely, this last lap has changed up a lot of stuff position-wise. It's an exciting race all around, but this last lap, we're almost done here. And we'll see what turns out with Paul Horschel and physically in first, but those Gomez brothers are definitely on a rail trying to beat his time.
Absolutely, Pam. That is Paul Horschel on screen. He is going to be screaming all the way to the checkered flag. We'll see how it all plays out on adjusted time. Make sure everybody behaved out there on course. It's going to be a race to the finish. Paul Horschel physically out front, just minutes away. Our live drone is chasing him. He can chase him for quite a while. It's going to be awesome to see how it all plays out. Is it going to be a Gomez up front? Is it going to be Paul Horschel? It's going to be down to the wire. So the live drone still chasing Paul Horschel. He's just minutes away from coming into the infield. Again, thank you to the Hammer King Productions, the Hammer King safety crew, for running a flawless race all weekend long. We've been using the Dixie off-road internet, beaming it out here, and then putting it all over these dishes. So a huge shout out to the whole team effort for making this happen, for everybody back at home tuning in. We've had a great audience all day long. So again, thank you at home for tuning in. And just for doing that, go to ultra4racing.com, use promo code BEATDOWN20, all capital BEATDOWN20 to get 20% off. I've got physical eyes on Paul Horschel. We'll get the camera down. He will be getting the checkered flag. There is Paul Horschel coming in. Just one more bump. He came down the Yukon and MBRP ledges. One more little wheel stand, and the checkered flag will be flying for physical first place. Paul Horschel, how's it going to shake out on adjusted time? Paul Horschel just flying over the finish line. He stayed up front all day long, never once got past physical first position. Paul Horschel, how's it going to shake out? We will find out soon. This will be down to adjusted time. They took off in 20-second increments. How close is JP? How close is Raul? We still have Levi Shirley, Ryan Miller, and Bailey Cole in the mix. That is JP Gomez, physical second position coming through the wash. So hopefully we can follow him on in. What an amazing day of racing. So we have JP Gomez that should be coming in physical second position very soon. So here comes J.P. Gomez coming in. He will be our physical second place position, but on adjusted time, it's going to be extremely close. This is J.P. Gomez coming down the Yukon and MBRP ledge. Physical second, but on adjusted time, it's going to be down to the wire. We'll see what happens. J.P. Gomez could come our way with a podium for sure. Is it going to be first or second? Time will tell. With a left front flat across the checkered line, physical second position. Second, I believe on adjusted time. First place is J.P. Gomez. Huge shout out to the Gomez brothers. First place, J.P. Gomez just edges out Paul Horschel. On screen there is Raul Gomez. That's physical third. Is he going to be second in front of Paul Horschel? It's going to be down to the wire. So we should see Raul Gomez coming across in physical, but on adjusted time, it is J.P. Gomez. Looks like he should be on top of the box. So is it going to be Gomez 1-2, or is Horschel going to mix it up? It's going to be down to the wire. That is Raul Gomez, and he is going to be absolutely launching down the Yukon and MBRP launch step down. Look at that, coming on in. So physical third, Raul Gomez, another Gomez brother coming on in, grabbing the checkered flag. Where's he going to end up on the podium? It's going to be close. Raul Gomez, physical third. Sounds like it will be third place. We'll see how it plays out. So far it looks like unofficial. It's going to be J.P. Gomez, Paul Horschel, and then Raul Gomez. So it should be a Nitto sweep. What an amazing day of racing it has been so far. Looks like we probably just wrapped up the podium for our 4400 Nitto Unlimited class. So again, unofficial, it looks like it's going to be J.P. Gomez, then Paul Horschel, then Raul. So Nitto sweep, everybody's going to be super pumped up. Chris Corbett, I'm sure, is tuned in, all smiles, giving thumbs up. What a great, great weekend it's been for Team Nitto. So it looks like that's going up El Dorado. Somebody's stuck, somebody's trying to push him up. And remember, that is extremely loose right there, not really much passing. Could that be John Hall? So 44-54 coming down Lockjaw. He's still definitely well in the top 10. Can he pull into the top 5? It's going to be close between Ryan Miller, Levi Shirley, and Bailey Cole. But again, unofficially, it's going to be JP 1, Paul Horschel 2, and Raul Gomez 3. We got to dot our I's, cross our T's, make sure everything's going good on our side. But what a wonderful day of racing it's been. There is Brian Caprera on screen, the 9901 Rock Rage Racing. Brian Caprera has been racing with us for a very long time. He's got a stable full of cars. He brought out the old straight axle. And look at those cars. They still look like they're in great condition. Paul Horschel, I don't believe, had a flat all day long. I don't know if the Gomez brothers did either. They're all kind of chatting, giving high fives, giving hugs. What a wonderful day of racing it's been. For the 2020 Lasernut Beatdown at Area BFE in Moab, Utah. We're rounding down for a wonderful day of racing. It's been 10 hours straight of racing. I hope you guys have been having as much fun as we have. Pam, I've been having a blast. How about yourself?
This has been an amazing day today, and this race right here was the highlight of it. With so many cars, so much action, all over the course. Thank goodness, again, for all of the cameras everywhere.
Thank you again, everybody, for tuning in. Our next race will be the Four Wheel Parts Nitto National Championship in Davis, Oklahoma at the Crossbar Ranch, October 23rd and 24th. We will bring our live show, pull out all the stops, so be sure to tune in. I believe Healey's still a lap or two down. So it's still between Ryan Miller, Levi Shirley, and Bailey Cole rounding out the top 5, I believe. Looks like we got a checkered flag for Bailey Cole. So we should have Ryan Miller and Levi Shirley in and Bailey Cole. So we'll get a top 5, top 10 rundown here very shortly. So there's Bailey Cole grabbing the checkered flag. Had a little bit of issue with a rear sway bar link, but boy, he cannot be disappointed. He ran a great race all day long. Kept the car moving. Looks like on screen is Brian Crofts.
Cheers. Copy that, 81 clear.
So Bailey Cole is physically 4th position. So a great run, even though he had a couple little mishaps out there. So Bailey Cole still sneaking in the top 5. Great, great run for him. Yeah, Levi Shirley started way back in 28th position, so it's going to be super close on time between Levi Shirley and Bailey Cole. Looks like Levi, if everything goes smooth, should get 4th position, and Bailey Cole will sneak into that top 5. So a great, great run. Unofficially, J.P. Gomez up top, then Paul Horschel, Raul Gomez, probably going to be Levi Shirley, then Bailey Cole. So there's Brian Croft coming in. I believe he'll be getting a white flag. Yes, he'll be heading out for his 8th and final lap. Sounds like Brian Croft may have broke his hand, so he's going to head into the hot pits and let Waylon Campbell hop in. So what a tough break. He just got healed up from some broken ribs. It's been one hell of a weekend for the 2020 Lasernut Beatdown at Area BFE in Moab, Utah.
We have Levi Shirley coming in right here for the checkered flag. We'll see where he was at. I believe he was in 4th place on corrected time.
It's going to be extremely close between Levi Shirley and Bailey Cole. Bailey Cole came in a little while ago, but Levi started all the way back in, what was it, 28th position. Bailey Cole is in 2nd. I can't do math that quick. My brain is about fried. But again, thank you for everybody staying tuned in all day long. I'm Miles Hasselquist alongside with Pam Hall. I know I'm not perfect, but we did our best. I hope you guys enjoyed this amazing live show. It's been an absolutely blast to call. So thank you again for everybody tuning in. It sounds like you tuned in all over the world. And again, I want to give another quick shout out to my buddy co-host Jim Marsden in Bad Penny. He just won the Barslow Rally over in England. So huge shout out to Jim Marsden for another win, adding to his trophy. Looks like that's Dan Wyrick. He was sitting for quite a while. It sounded like he had some power steering issues, but apparently he got it back going. So 218. And remember, we just saw Raul Gomez kind of crawl all over the back of him. But they're buddies. It's all good. They're pitted right next to each other, and they're having fun out there racing. For the 2020 Lasernut Beatdown at Area BFE in Moab, Utah. Here shortly, we'll send Pam Hall down, and we'll hand out some Lasernut trophies for the 4500 Yukon Gear and Axle Modified class, the 4800 Brannick Motorsports Legends class, and right here for the 4400 Nitto Unlimited class. And it looks like it's going to be a Nitto sweep, so huge weekend for Team Nitto. So on screen, that's Dan Wyrick, number 218. A couple laps down, but still good to see him out there racing. It's 6 o'clock. Mountain time as we speak. 6:09 to be exact. We got a little shout out from people all over the world. Again, thank you. We're missing Jaron Gunter out there, but he just gave me a little love saying, great job. He's been watching all day. Thank you for tuning in, Jaron. Hope to see you in Oklahoma, but for sure for the King of the Hammers 2021. So I'm in here, and we just got Bailey Cole in here in the booth with me. You raced all day long. You were sitting in that second place position for such a long time. You were battling, and then it sounded like you had a rear sway bar link come apart?
Yeah, we felt really good all day. We were just trying to run our race nice and smooth, and we got a couple minutes out in front of the Gomez's, and we're like right 2 minutes behind Paul, and we were in that happy zone, putting pressure on Paul, but not breaking the car. And came around, I think, the 5th or 6th lap and lost a rear sway bar link.
Yeah, that's tough break, because like I said, you ran a great race all day long. You were in the mix on the podium for sure all day until you had that sway bar, but you still, I think, are going to pull out a top 5. We'll see how it plays out, but I think unofficially it's going to be J.P. Gomez, and then Paul Horschel, Raul Gomez, possibly Levi Shirley, then Bailey Cole. So you'd still be happy with the top 5 after the last couple of weeks you had, wouldn't you?
Oh, yeah. After going in the water at Crandon, having to rebuild the car, and then getting out here, and the car didn't even really run most of the days leading up to it, and we just had to go out and drive hard. And there's
And I'm glad everything went as well as it did in Crandon, because that was extremely scary for a little bit. But now we can all laugh about it. You saw the memes, the Bailey Cole submarine racing, and we all got a good chuckle. But like I said, I'm just glad you're here sitting next to me, still be able. So it just goes to show you do practice your safety. So good on you, Bailey.
Oh, yeah. Well, I am the first Ultra 4 vehicle to literally go over any terrain, including water now.
I love your positive attitude. You can spin it on anything. Again, congratulations on such a great last couple weeks. Crandon was an absolute ball, and you made it happen there. You made it happen here, and we're back in just having a great time. So again, Bailey Cole, congratulations. Looks like it should be a top 5.
Thank you very much to all the people that got me here, all the crew, and all the amazing sponsors that got me parts and got the car rebuilt. Thank you all.
Thank you, Bailey Cole. Thank you again for everybody tuning in all over the world. It's been one heck of a race day here at the 2020 Lasernut Beatdown at Area BFE in Moab, Utah.
I'm going to step away for a second, Miles. So.
So again, I want to throw out all our sponsors some love, because without those guys, we would not be racing here today. So a huge shout out to Nitto, Can-Am, Ford, Monster, Optima, 4-Wheel Parts, Progressive, Lasernut, Warn Winch, King Shocks, Amsoil, Griffin Radiators, Holley EFI, Titan Fuel Tanks, Boxo Tools, Yukon Gear and Axle, The Fab School, PCI Race Radios, Lasernut. Again, thank you so much for sponsoring this race and all the trophies. Cody Wagner, huge shout out to you and your gang. Steal It. Off the Grid Clothing. I've been wearing their shorts all weekend. They're comfy and durable out here in the dirt. ARB, MBRP Exhaust, Rigid Lights, VP Racing Fuels. Thank you for stepping up this year and next year for bringing the race fuel to the racers on site. We saw the RCV axle holding up all weekend long. HCR, Brannick Motorsports. Thank you, Stan and Brandon, for sponsoring the 4800 Brannick Motorsports Legends class. And also PRP, Speed Straps, Factor 55. We saw Justin Andrews was tuned in all weekend long. Action Sports Canopy, Squatch Bots, and Gerald Lee, thank you, with Savvy. So again, please support who supports the sport. It's been one heck of a weekend here at the 2020 Lasernut Beatdown at Area BFE in Moab, Utah. So we're trying to dot our I's, cross our T's, but it looks like top of the box should go to J.P. Gomez, then Paul Horschel. Rounding out the podium is another Gomez, Raul Gomez. And then it should go fourth position to Levi Shirley, and rounding out the top 5, Bailey Cole. So there's Chris Paiva and Dave Cole's old car in the 906 with North Shore Racing taking the white flag. One more lap to go for Chris Paiva. So we have our race director from across the pond, Richard Crossland, been tuned in all day. Thank you for watching. Sure you were tuned in to Jim Marsden and our race, so can't wait to catch up with you at 2021 King of the Hammers, Richard. And Richard Crossland is getting ready for the BFG Essential race here in a couple weeks. So he's got his hands full, but he's been watching all day. So best of luck to you in the couple weeks for the Essential race. There's the 5150 of Brendan Thompson. Still running strong. It's been one heck of a day. These guys took off About 3 hours ago, they've been racing nonstop. What a hell of a race they've put on for us.
Oh my gosh. Lobo is chasing him off.
Good old Reed's fresh.
And we told him to come back. But
I know, but did you give him time to come back?
we said that it was going to be after the finishers came in.
So there's two-time king Lauren Healey with his Ford Bronco-inspired Ultra 4 car, showing off that Ford horsepower. He had a couple issues today, but he has overcame them and still racing. He's got those Nitto tires still running strong. Looks like he could have a right front flat, I believe. Thank you again for everybody tuning in all over the world. The 2020 Lasernut Beatdown at Area BFE in Moab, Utah has been one heck of a day. Thank you again for everybody tuning in. Don't forget our next race will be the 4-Wheel Parts Nitto National Championship in Davis, Oklahoma at the Crossbar Ranch on October 23rd and 24th. We'll bring this same live show for that. Looks like Lauren Healey gets the white flag heading out for his last lap. Looks like that was Brian Croft, and I heard that he may have had a hand, so that could be Waylon Campbell in there driving for Brian. Remember the discount code at ultra4racing.com. Use Beatdown20. All capitals, Beatdown20. Receive a 20% discount on all of our swag, hats, t-shirts, beanies, sweatshirts, all of the good stuff that I've got in my closet. Also, go to www.drifttodirt.com. You can sign up and win a Ford Mustang or a Ford Trimmer. Also, get a hold of Neil at ultra4racing.com to do the Ultra 4 Garage on our YouTube, Instagram, on all our socials. If you have a new car you're building or something that you're proud of that you're changing, get a hold of him and you can shoot a quick little video and we'll display you all over our social medias. On course is Kevin Porterfield in that beautiful wide open design Adam Woodley built machine. He raced with us in Tennessee just recently. It's going to be very interesting going into the 4-Wheel Park Nitto National Championship because remember, you can drop KOH this year, but you have to race the Nationals there in Oklahoma. So the points will be extremely interesting. There's no East, no West. It's all just a national points race. So it's going to be down to the Oklahoma race. It's going to be extremely exciting to see how it plays out. We still got a lot of competitors out on course. We started this morning with roughly 40 unlimited cars taking the field, and the attrition definitely set in. We'll probably have less than half that finish this race. There's Mike Bad Daddy Boo, number 54, crossing the line. We've still got a lot of action out on course, but it looks like we should be set. Dotting our I's, crossing our T's, but it looks like it's probably going to be top of the box, J.P. Gomez, then Paul Horschel, and number 3, Raul Gomez. We will also be doing the awards for the 4500 Yukon Gear and Axle Modified class. Top of the box there is Dan Fresh. Second is Sean Rance. Third is Kenneth Goodall. And then we'll also do the 4800 Brannick Motorsports Legends class. Top of the box goes to Cade Rod, then Cody Young, and Matt Tribino. That is the number 999 of Kevin Williams, brand new to Ultra 4 with his wife Brittany riding along. And that bomber chassis, this is the first seat time they've actually had in that car. So great to see him out here racing with us and having, I mean, you should have seen their smile yesterday when I was talking to them. They were just so pumped. They said they've never had quite the adrenaline rush, and that was just qualifying. What an amazing weekend it has been here in Moab for the 2020 Lasernut Beatdown at Area BFE. We qualified yesterday afternoon, evening, and had such a great time, and then we've been live calling this race for 10.5 hours. I'm sure most of you have been tuning in off and on all weekend. We do appreciate every single one that has done that. And we will be live once again at the Four Wheel Parts Nitto National Championship in Davis, Oklahoma at the Crossbar Ranch, October 23rd and 24th. So just over a month away. Be sure to tune in then once again. So we're got a little time on our hands here. And I've got Josh here with Off the Grid Clothing. I've got a pair of jeans, a few pairs of shorts. You are the official apparel of Ultra 4. Thanks again. I got plenty of your shirts, too. And they're built well. Thanks.
Oh, I appreciate it.
Yeah, you guys stepped up in a huge way at 2020 Nitto King of the Hammers. That was the first time I was kind of introduced to you guys. Got a nice jacket, a pair of pants, and plenty of shirts. And you guys build them to last. I mean, it's kind of the overlanding a little bit, and just kind of the guys that work in their garage and can really get greasy and dirty, but they last a long time. I like the garage to the campsite. You can do it all. You can wear it to work. You can wear it out on your nice stuff. I don't have any nice clothes. These are it. So you're definitely bringing a little extra to the table. So again, Josh with Off the Grid, I really appreciate everything you've done to bring to the table.
Hey, we appreciate you guys, and we love to support this community any way we can. So.
Well, thanks again, Josh, with Off the Grid. So while we wait a little bit more time before we do some podiums, we're going to take a quick break before we give out these Lasernut trophies, and we'll be right back after this.
4WP is more than a store. We're truck and Jeep experts and have been for over 50 years. From wheel and tire upgrades to full custom builds, 4WP has you covered. Whether you want to order the best parts online or shop in store, do the work yourself or get it done by a pro, all roads lead to 4WP. Do your rig right. Shop online or find your store at 4WP.com.
I need it so bad. It's not just a hobby. It's not just something we do on weekends. It's how we live every day.
Can we go out and play?
Race-proven technology developed in the harshest off-road environments. Cutting-edge manufacturing delivering unmatched quality every time. Combined, we've created an entirely new breed of tire with the performance of mud terrain and the versatility of all-terrain. The Ridge Grappler completes Netto's full range of truck tires, no matter what you're driving.
22 years of off-road racing dominance. Proprietary patented race technology. Proudly made in the USA. Unparalleled customer service and support. The choice of champions. King Shocks, the leader in off-road shock technology.
Excuse me. Do you mind being a motor?
What could be better than being a motor? The real question is, do you mind not being a motor?
I do. For those who were born to ride, there's Progressive.
Your bearings shoulder the burden whenever you tow, haul, or stop the gas. AMSOIL delivers powerful protection for bearings and other critical components so you can drive with confidence. To demonstrate, an independent lab put AMSOIL synthetic motor oil head-to-head against a leading competitor in a 100,000-mile test. AMSOIL provided far superior wear protection and kept engine bearings looking like new. Get your truck the protection it deserves at amsoil.com/engine.
Renowned worldwide for reliability, the Arb Air Locker is a must-have for off-road drivers including rock crawlers, overlanders, and racers. With over 100 applications, Arb Air Lockers gives your vehicle the traction you need to tackle virtually any challenge with the flip of a switch.
So King of the Hammers, it's the toughest one-day race in the world as far as I'm concerned.
When you need your winch, that's the only thing that matters. It's about getting to the finish line first. It doesn't matter how you do it.
Welcome back. This is the 2020 Lasernut Beatdown at Area BFE in Moab, Utah. It's been an amazing day of racing. We've had 5 races go on today, and I hope you guys had as much fun as I did. This live show was just absolutely phenomenal. So again, a huge shout out to the Hammer King production crew. Huge shout out to the Hammer King safety crew. Thank you, Dixie Off-Road, for providing internet. We shot it from their shop in town out here through multiple dishes. Travis Walter is an absolute genius when it comes to running this internet out here. I mean, you saw it. We're out in the middle of nowhere, and we had very few blips. There was a couple to be expected. But again, what a great show. And don't forget, our next race will be the 4-Wheel Parts Nitto National Championship in Davis, Oklahoma at the Crossbar Ranch on October 23rd and 24th. All classes will be racing, and we will have our awards, our season awards year-end party after that. So we're just making sure everything's lined up. We should be giving out those amazing Lasernut trophies here momentarily. We'll be doing the 4500 Yukon Gear and Axle Modified class, the 4800 Brannick Motorsports Legends class, and last but not least, the 4400 Nitto Unlimited class. So we have 9 more Lasernut trophies to give out. So we'll have Pam start it, and I don't think I can sit out on the action on this one. I'll probably come down and give her a hand. So again, a huge shout out to Nitto, Can-Am, Ford, Monster, Optima, 4-Wheel Parts, Progressive, and Lasernut. Without those guys, we would not have been racing today. Those are our top sponsors, but we got to give everybody a little bit of love. So we have Warren, we have King Shocks, Amsoil, Griffin, Holly, Titan Fuel Tanks, Boxo Tools, Yukon Gear, Fab School, PCI Race Radios, Lasernut, Steal It, Off the Grid Clothing, ARB, MBRP, Rigid, VP Racing Fuels, RCV, HCR, Brannick, PRP, Speed Straps, Factor 55, Action Sports Canopy, Squatch Box, and Savvy. Without those guys, we would not have been racing today, so please support who supports the sport. Don't forget, the first round on us still applies for this season, and I hope we extend it through 2021. If it's your first time ever racing with Ultra 4, we'll cover your first entry fee just to kind of get you hooked. We also have the Race Every Mile promotion. Any driver who completes every mile in 2020 receives $1 per mile, and we'll give those special checks out at the awards after the Nationals. We also have the Ultra 4 Garage, so get a hold of Neil at ultra4.com if you're building a new car or revamping your car. You have something cool, get a hold of him, and we'll put you out on our YouTube, Instagram, and all our socials. We are very excited for the launch of the Bronco. You saw the soft launch early. We can't wait for that to come out. We saw a few Broncos out there, Bronco-inspired Ultra 4 cars racing with us today. VP Racing Fuels has brought us race fuel on site every single race this year and for the 21 season. Don't forget to log in to www.drifttodirt.com where you can enter to win a Ford Mustang or a Ford Trimmer. This is part of Team Funhammer, Vaughn Gittin Jr. and Lauren Healey. So be sure to go online and register with them. Remember, this is not an East versus West. This is a national only points. We have 4 races. You can drop 1 race, but you can not drop the Nitto National Championship in Oklahoma.
Just a heads up, we have no ETA on the awards. They're still looking for the drivers.
Again, you can log into ultra4racing.com. Use Beatdown20, all capital, Beatdown20 to receive 20% off our swag all weekend long. Give Roxy something to do next week. And even though this was not a fan-friendly event, we had a lot of our volunteers, a lot of our team. We still had a great event, so I hope you guys back home were excited as we were to watch this on this live coverage. We just saw Brendan Thompson and Brian Caprera cross, so we'll get the checkered flag. There was two-time king Lauren Healey in his Bronco-inspired Ultra 4 car, built by Paul Horschel, but finished by Lauren Healey. Or Lauren Healey put his little twist on it. Somebody's got some issues. They were bouncing the limiter there, trying to make it up. Must have either a front or rear drive issue, but they're trying to make that last little waterfall to be a finisher here at the 2020 Lasernut Beatdown at Area BFE here in Moab, Utah. See Chris Paiva coming back down in the background, part of North Shore Racing. So it looks like that could be Zandy Willems that was having some issues. Like I said, he must have either just front wheel or rear wheel. Not sure what's going on, but he backs out of the way. Looks like Chris Paiva is going to be able to snake around him and finish his lap. There goes Chris Paiva, number 906, North Shore Racing. He raced with us in Crandon, Wisconsin just 2 weeks ago, but he finishes his lap. Hopefully Zandy Willems can get something figured out and just finish this lap. He's just about 20 feet away, but if you can't make it, you can't make it.
Okay, let me get the mic on first.
You can see the smoke show. That is Zandy Willems. Just can't quite make that last little drive, just all over the throttle. Hopefully he can back up, give it one more bump. We'll see what happens. So here we are at the 2020 Lasernut Beatdown at Area BFE in Moab, Utah. We have Pam Hall down there. I'm going to throw it down to you. We're going to start the awards, give out these Lasernut trophies. I'll probably come down there and join you, Pam, but go ahead, take it away.
Thank you, Miles. Okay, we have quite the crowd out here. We're going to do our 4800 Brannick Motorsports Legends class. We're going to bring up third place, Matt Tribino. Come on up. Second place, Cody Young. And first place, Cade Rod. Come on up, guys. Okay, so who's this? Okay, Matt, let's talk about your day. Was it eventful? Was it easy? Was it fun? How'd you feel about today?
Oh, it was horrible.
You're gonna hold it.
It was horrible. I got 5 flat tires. Had to change the first one by myself and him. It was not fun.
Not fun?
No.
What was your favorite part about the course?
The finish line. Yeah.
The checkered flag?
Yeah.
Definitely. That's usually the racer's favorite part of the race.
That was it.
Was it rough? Have you done hammers?
Oh yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. What do you compare this to with Mckinley hammers?
This is way worse. Yeah, this was
big difference stepping down from 4400 to the 48, running on 37s this time. It was
Bring it up.
a little more challenging for sure with the 37s.
Okay, but did you have fun? I mean, if you didn't have fun, you wouldn't be here, right?
Absolutely.
All right. Well, congratulations. Here is your third place trophy. You're on the podium. You definitely want to hold that thing up high. All right, now we're going to move over here to our second place, Cody Young. Tell us about your day.
It was pretty uneventful. We had one flat up at the top. We were running second, pulled over, changed it. A couple guys got around us. And then from there on out, we just kind of kept a good pace and, crossed the line second place. Pretty stoked on it.
Second place, that's awesome. Yeah. I heard this is one of the roughest courses some people have ran, so being on the podium alone was an accomplishment.
Yeah, definitely. I've raced KOH two years in a row, so I'm pretty new to all this. So to be up here is pretty amazing. It's a pretty rough course, so I'm just happy to get through it and finish,
Exactly. Now, who helped you get here?
Got to thank my wife for letting me come out and do this stuff. It's pretty difficult sometimes. You're in the shop for long hours and stuff. Everybody knows how that is.
Mm-hmm.
My mom and dad, A&G Pumping, got to thank Yokohama Tire, Vision Wheels, and Fox Shocks, and who else? Cartech Off-Road helps out, Amsoil, and I got to thank my co-driver for.
Did you have to get out and winch at all?
No.
Good.
We got out and changed a tire.
I started changing the wrong tire.
Yeah, we had
No, we changed tire, and I started changing the wrong tire, but we got it. We figured it out. We never had a flat tire before. This is the first time. So all the times we've raced, never had a flat tire yet until today. So it was kind of new to us, but we got it on. It was all good.
Well, good. Okay, well, I'm going to give you guys your second place trophy. Congratulations on your podium finish today.
Thank you.
You're welcome. All right, I'm going to bring in Miles here. He's going to do our first place.
Top of the box, Mr. Cade Rod. You hope all day long. We see Randy right here, super excited. Your mom was tuned in all day. How do you feel being on the top of the box for the 4800 Brannick Motorsports Legends class?
Man, it feels great. I've watched races out here since I was a kid, back in the XRA days, and coming out here and having a lot of my friends and family that can't go to the races way far away, them being able to come out here and throw out tires and see what I do, it's something super special, and it's something that's super cool, and I'm glad that I could put on a show for everybody that I know, and I just can't thank everybody enough. I can't thank Randy and Jimmy's 4x4. I owe that guy more than anything, all the way down to my values. I can't thank Dominic. He came out here, he was an ox before the race. He just was fixing things I didn't even know were messed up. My new co-driver, JT, threw him in first time. He absolutely killed it. Vision Wheel, MBRP, Jimmy's 4x4, Nitto Tire, Don Wapo, Hot Sauce, Black Flies, everybody that comes together to really get me out here. I can't thank everybody enough.
Yeah, I mean, you owned it ever since yesterday in the qualifier, a 107 flat. You got out front, never looked back, never got past today. You owned the race, so congratulations, K-Rod, top of the box.
Thanks.
So give it up, throw those up in the air, and let's throw some champagne out there.
I'll throw it to you.
Okay. You mute it. Oh, don't mute it. Don't mute it. Because I went. 4,500.
I'll throw it to you right now, okay?
Okay. You're throwing it to me right now?
We're going to bring up Kenneth Goodall, third place. Second place, Sean Rance, top of the box, Dan Fresh. I hope these guys are excited about these beautiful Lasernut trophies. Cody Wagner and team have been bringing these up.
Let's come on up.
Making these the last few seasons. So Pam, get up there and have a little chat with Matt Tribino. No, Kenneth Goodall, sorry.
Okay,
it's been
boys.
a long day.
I'm going to call you boys. You're not boys, you're men. You have to be a man to race this course, right? Oh, here we go. Yeah? Oh, there was a 17-year-old out here. Okay, so tell us a little bit about your day. How did it go?
Day was pretty good. We had no problems through the entire race. Pretty brutal race, though. First time actually here in Moab at all for me. Never been out here even wheeling, so it was definitely a different experience for us. But we had a great time.
So no problems, no flats, no
flats,
nothing.
no nothing. We tried to keep a little conservative, so we didn't have any flats, but yeah, it cost us a few positions, but we made it.
Well, sometimes, smooth is fast, and to finish first, you must first finish, and that's what we're all going for, right?
That's correct.
Correct.
We've got a lot of times today.
Yeah, I can imagine. All right.
Slow down.
So who all do you want to thank for getting you guys here?
I want to thank all my friends, family that come down to our race shop every Tuesday and Thursday, help us get this car together. We didn't have a motor in it at the beginning of this week, so for the second time in 2 weeks, we took the motor out. So I want to thank all you guys that helped out. My wife for putting up with me being down to the shop so much, and my daughter as well, because I haven't spent as much time with her as I need to. But like I said, all the guys down at the shop, including my son, that help out.
Well, awesome. Do you have anything to say?
Yeah, we want to thank all of our sponsors.
Yes.
Moab Motorsports here in town got us back on the road after we broke during pre-running, so we really want to thank those guys. They have that cool Mater truck out there too. All of our sponsors, Klein Racing Engines built us an engine in a day, which was pretty amazing since, like you said, we had 2 in the last week. Baja Designs Lighting, Dirty Life Wheels, Warren Industries. We did not have to use the winch today, which was great, but they always support us. So thank you to all of our sponsors and our families.
Awesome. Well, thanks and congratulations. All right, we're going to move over here to Sean Rance. On your second place finish today, what was your favorite part about this rough terrain out here?
Well, it was a wonderful race. Everybody was great out there. We had a little incident during qualifying. We flipped it over backwards. We started last. We ended up second in our class. It was just a wonderful day. We didn't have any issues. We did have one flat. I drove wrong, which happens all the time, but we had a great time.
Well, congratulations. And who do you want to thank for getting you here?
Well, my wife is here, all my kids. And it's emotional for me at this age to be able to keep coming out here and do this.
You make me cry.
We use Milestar tires, rough stuff, builder parts, and RPM machines here with us supporting this weekend. We just love racing at this point in time.
Thanks to Pabst Blue Ribbon.
PBR. No, congratulations. All right, and we're bringing up Miles. You're up for Mr. Dan Fresh.
And top of the box goes to Mr. Dan Fresh and Mike Kim. You guys owned the day. You guys had a great run. How'd it go out there?
You know, it started off really good. Day started off pretty smooth, just kind of stuck to our game plan. We just wanted to, we didn't want to go too hard. We just wanted to just go fast enough to try to maintain up in the top 3. And, you know, going on to, I think it was lap 3, lockers went out. And before you know it, I made a mistake up at Green Day or something like that up there and laid it outside. And Mike was quick to jump out, get us winched over, and kept us going. So we're fortunate enough to get it here on the top step of the box, and that's really what we're shooting for. It's a true honor and a pleasure to race against these guys. You know, a lot of great competition out here, so very thankful.
And Gerald Lee with Savvy did an amazing job wrapping that new 88 with that Ford Bronco. That thing looks sharp, doesn't it?
You know, that was the obviously inaugural race here, but also inaugural race for the Ford Bronco. So that looks really good. Doesn't look so good after we might have wadded it up a little bit, but you know, I got a lot of great sponsors I want to thank. We have Vision Wheels, bounced off a lot of rims this weekend. Didn't have one flat with Falcon tires. Fox shocks, Mike's with Fox, and he tunes this thing, takes it very seriously. So really cool to have Mike on board. We also have Savvy, who preps the car, own the car. You know, they really take good care of us to make sure we can get out to these races and try to put on a show. So yeah, really fortunate. So I'd like to thank Sparco USA, Torco, and the good Lord up above for keeping us safe out here, because you know it's not the safest sport in the world you could choose. So I want to thank my wife Healey and our great crew and great friends that came out.
Well, again, huge congratulations to all three. Kenneth Goodall, Sean Rance, and top of the box, Dan Fresh. Grab those trophies and throw them high.
Everybody is absolutely hypercritical of the announcers. Only on the internet. Oh yeah. Your mistakes today were micro, and no one fucking cares.
Okay, we have our 4400 Nitto Unlimited class ready to come up over here. We have our third place, Raul Gomez. Our second place, Paul Horschel, and our first place, JP Gomez.
Oh, sweet.
Anyways.
Okay, go for it.
Okay, today was quite the battle between you and your brother towards the end. It was exciting to watch. I'm sure everybody at home was really stoked about watching it. How do you feel your day went?
It was okay. He still beat me, so I'm kind of bummed out. But it was definitely fun. We definitely had a battle the whole time. It was pretty legit. He'd pass me, I'd pass him a few times. I'd tell him, hey, let me move over real quick, and I'd just roast him. And I don't know, it was fun. I ran a smooth race, no flats today. Shocks did great. Nitto's tires are amazing, and just the crew kicked ass. They prepped me a great car, and the whole day I was looking for orange, right? So we knew Paul was in the front, so it was like just trying to chase him down. And then I had this guy just bothering me the whole time. If he just kept on ramming me, I was like, God damn it. But it was fun though, but I don't know, it was okay.
How would you compare this to some of the stuff at King of the Hammers?
It was like 30 miles of goat trails the whole time. We got to open it up a little bit, got into second gear here in the stretch, and that was it. Other than that, we had a fun day today.
Is that the tallest or the farthest you got gear-wise was second?
Second, third. Hit like maybe 50 on that straightaway, and that was the most action we had the whole day.
Okay, no problems? You had no flats, no problems?
No flats, no problems. It was great. I was just driving slow. I was driving conservative today.
Maybe somebody put something on behind your gas pedal so it wouldn't go all the way down.
Maybe. I'll have to check that a little bit.
Yeah. What's that called? A limiter?
Something like that.
Yeah. Well, here's your trophy. Congratulations.
Awesome. Thank you.
And there we are for Raul. All right. Paul, how are you?
Doing good.
I met you at Crandon.
That's right. Yeah.
You had a great run there.
This is 3 second places in a row, so I don't know if it's that great, but
well,
pretty good.
You're on the box. That's what matters here. What did you think about the course here today?
It was rough. It was intense. I mean, it was just getting it.
Definitely. You had a flawless day, though. You qualified first yesterday.
Started in the front.
And he started in the front. You actually...
I was making dust for him. There was dust. I was just giving it to these guys.
Did you have on 40s today, or what were you running?
40-inch Nittos.
Yeah, he did that purposely to throw dust up for you guys. No, nothing wrong with your car. Everything went good. How do you feel? Are you going into Oklahoma with all of us?
Yeah, we'll be in Oklahoma racing. Probably a different car. But the car is... This is the second or third race on the car. 3 second places. I don't know if that's good or bad. But it's proven to be fast. We just got to drive a little faster.
So compared to Crandon to here, I know at Crandon you were doing a lot to make it a short course vehicle. So what all did you have to change to get it to this lovely rocky course that JT put on for y'all?
We didn't do too much. We just put on 40-inch tires and raised the suspension. Fox tuned the shocks for us, and it just works.
It worked. Well, you did really good out there, keeping it out front, no issues.
No issues. The car held up all day. It just worked. These guys were hunting me, and I just didn't know.
You had a lot of people hunting you.
Yeah.
Who do you want to thank for getting you here?
I got to thank my wife and my family and my crew, Mitchell and Josh and Zig and all these guys that, I mean, they put their heart into the racing, and it's the only way we can do this. And then I got to thank Nitto Tires, Fox Shocks, Pivot Motorsports, Power Steering Solutions, Traction Products. I mean, there's Tube Works. There's a huge list of guys that just keep us going.
Well, I know that you wanted to really be over there, but...
I did. I just had one lap, and I had to make up about 1.5 minutes, and I think we made up over a minute, and then I got hung up in some dust, and I just couldn't make up that last 30 seconds.
Well,
so
you're up here on the box.
Yeah, I'm proud of JP and Raul. But I heard there was going to be a red card because intentional nerfing over here, so I might move up here anyway.
Oh, you guys are great. Oh, no. Well, congratulations. Here is your lovely Lasernut trophy.
Thank you.
And we're going to bring Miles in here.
So top of the box, Mr. JP Gomez, you did it again. You got in front of your brother again. How's that make you feel?
First off, JT owes me a back massage for that race course. Beat me to shit. It was fun. Didn't do good on qualifying. Been 7 months since we raced KOH. So qualifying yesterday wasn't really fast. And then today, 2 laps to get warmed up. And then I saw Raul, and it was game on. Just saw red the whole time.
I wish I could have been in on that channel listening to you guys, because I know you guys talk some smack, especially here later on tonight.
Oh, yeah, it was as soon as I saw him, I was like, game on, get out of the way. And then he'd say, oh, you could pass me, and then I'd nerf him. And then he wouldn't get out of the way. Another lap would go around, nerf him again. He said to get out of the way, didn't get out of the way. So 4th lap, after my winch line was wrapped around my axle because I hit him so many times, pulled in the pit, and I told Chris, if Raul doesn't get out of the way, I want to ram him again. Didn't relay the message, so I had to do it myself. But it was fun. I mean, the course was a driver's course. You couldn't open it up 90 miles an hour, 40, 50 max. Got a flat on the last lap, but I mean, 2nd lap through 7th, it was so much fun. There was lappers, there was people in the way. I scared JT a couple times, scared myself a couple times. So that was so much fun. I mean, it's a blast to be in those cars, 800 horsepower, and just go so fast.
Yeah, and you guys ran strong all day long. Who helped you get to the top of the box?
Raul was in the way. He didn't help me. I mean, my wife and kids at home cheer me on. That gives me a lot of willpower to fucking get through this. My team, they work day in, day out. My family, my brothers, our company, all the sponsors, Nitto, our engine builder. I'm not going to say his name because everybody takes our engine builders. And then transmission, Jim at ATO, RCV, and I don't know who the... Oh, Joe right there. Joe UFO, he made it out here. Took him 2 days to get here, but he finally made it. So, I mean, it's just it's a group effort, to say the least.
Well, congratulations. We'll get to grab your trophy. We're going to throw it up high. Again, huge congratulations. Raul Gomez, Paul Horschel, top of the box. JP Gomez, a Nitto sweep. What an amazing day of racing we had for the 2020. For the 2020 Lasernut Beatdown at Area BFE. Our next race will be the 4-Wheel Parts Nitto National Championship in Davis, Oklahoma, in just about a month at the Crossbar Ranch. So the Gomez brothers are going to do their celebration for the getting first and third in the 4400 Nitto Unlimited class. Let these guys celebrate for just a minute. What an amazing day. We've been racing. We raced for 10 straight hours, and it was one heck of a show. Thank you again, everybody, for tuning in. Ultra4racing.com/live. Make sure you tune in next month. The season isn't quite over yet. So thank you again, everybody back home. I'm Miles Hasselquist. Thank you, Pam Hall, for joining me. It's been one heck of a day, one heck of a weekend. We'll see you guys in Oklahoma.
All right.